What's going on, everybody? Welcome here to Series E Guilty Gear Strive. My name is Yeso, your host for tonight as we get ready for some more FGC action here with your friends at Esports Arena. So welcome in. Hope you're having a great week so far and hope you're looking forward to an awesome bracket here tonight. For those of you that are new, let's break down how things work before we jump into all of the fun stuff. Now, Series E is a professional esports open circuit that absolutely anyone can join across multiple different titles. We've got Multiverses, Apex Legends, and of course, Guilty Gear Strive. Now, the way that it works is players and teams come out, they compete in our open qualifiers, and the best of the best make it into Series E. Now, what does that mean for them? Well, players will get the opportunity to sign a contract, get sponsored by one of our partner brands, earn a monthly salary, and compete weekly for points and prize money. In Guilty Gear Strive, it's every Thursday night against some of the most talented Strive players from all across the country. If you and your friends want to get in on the fun or have any further questions, head over to esportsarena.com today. Now, as we're back here in the studio, we're getting ready for the end of the season here. We're almost done with our third full season here of Series E Guilty Gear Strive, and things are coming down to the wire, a battle on the overall standings. Of course, players continuing to duke things out and figure themselves out in terms of the new meta we've seen since patches have come out over the last few months, and seeing things get sorted out as we go has been very entertaining. But let's take a quick look back at last week. We've got some great highlights here of what was a very impressive run through last week's bracket. And NBNHMR, it really should surprise nobody at this point that every time NBNHMR is here and in the Series E bracket, he's going to do some serious damage. And of course, it ended up being NBNHMR's night, but we got some very interesting sets on the other side of the bracket. First of all, we got Bean playing the Leo up against Marvello. Didn't like having to go into that mirror matchup and switched things up and made things very fascinating in the losers finals of last Thursday night. And of course, Bean had to make a very tough run through the losers side of the bracket, getting knocked out by Marvello in winners semifinals in a full 5-game series. Bean had to make some things happen on that bottom side of the bracket. Took out Solstice in a sweep. Ended up sweeping Jonathan Tene as well as Marvello there, despite that round taken by Marvello early on. And then it was time for the fun in grand finals, and unfortunately Bean wasn't able to force the reset. NBNHMR just so strong on the Nagoriyuki, and while Bean was able to force it at least to a game 4 and avoid getting swept here by the Nago main, it wasn't enough to force a reset and get that shot to take the bracket for himself. So while Bean did put up a valiant fight here in the winners finals, NBNHMR coming in with that extra life, just too much to handle, and NBNHMR continues to be one of the best players in North America and is the premier Nago player as it stands. And every time he comes out, you got to watch out for NBNHMR to do some serious damage in our bracket. So congratulations, of course, to NBNHMR for that big win a week ago, and we'll have to see if somebody can take him down this time around. It's going to be a hell of a bracket, and I'm looking forward to it. My friends Jadalyn and St. Cola will be on the call today. They'll be bringing you all of the fun of all of our sets, and of course, I'll be here to break things down in between, keep you up to date on what's going on in the bracket and more, so you can look forward to that all throughout tonight's show. But let's not waste any further time. We're ready to get into another awesome bracket here at Series E Guilty Gear Strive, so let's get it going.
Another week of Series E. We are back at the finest Guilty Gear Strive that North America has to offer.
Anji, Adventure having the rhythm, playing the dance, showing the fans out, and more Bonzo gets countered!
Side switch! First opening, just slowly into the Super Bonzo! 3-0 Hotashi!
More, but doesn't care Fujin anyway. Gonna go in, gives a follow in, this time jumping above the fans, like I don't care about the plus frame.
Solstice back in the corner, off the 5K, 6K, Red RC extension, into the Super, this should seal it. Tempest built up, he's waiting for that right time to get that whip punch in. Even gets the guard point situation into the Super. Bean is so smart, immediately
Baits out the throw, burst. They both want this round. UMISHO looking to run it, and he's gonna be able to get the kill off of this. That burst works out for UMISHO.
trying to play any gaps. Oh my god. That number 2K.
UMISHO.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another Series E here at Esports Arena for Guilty Gear Strive. I am Jadelyn, and I am joined by the one, the only, my favorite St. Cola. How are you today?
Oh, I appreciate it. When you bring me in like that, then we definitely have some heat, some flames, some fire out here at Series E, because things are getting serious. As Yeso said, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty when it comes to this tournament series. And I shouldn't even say a tournament series. It's more of a exhibition. No, it's an execution. Let's take a look at why this is a little bit different than your typical tournaments that you see on any other given day. Double M, all that good stuff. First to 3, best of 5, all that, including top 8, winner gets to keep character. You all know the deal. However, all these players are playing for at least 6 of these players are playing to keep their sponsorship, to stay at the top spot. You see 50 points for first, second gets 40, and then on. Plus, they're playing for a lot of guap on the dot. You know, that first place gets 300, second gets 150, and third 50. But again, you're playing to keep your sponsors. You're also playing to also get some sponsors. If you don't have any sponsors at all, maybe you're the first time or a couple times out here, you haven't got something in front of your name, and this may be the way to get some fame out here, because this is one of the hottest watched things in terms of Guilty Gear. We have the best of the best in the U.S. battling it out. And speaking of the best in the U.S., we have something different today in our bracket, do we not, Jaylin?
Oh, we do have something different today in our bracket. We have a lot of our regular players. We have, you know, Red Ditto, Peppery Splash, Adventure, UMISHO, people we're used to seeing, but we have one person that both you and I are very, very excited about, who's been in the chat already. Our own Esports Arena Alpha is going to be playing in the tournament tonight, and I am so freaking hyped for this.
I'm so freaking scared for them because they have to play Umi. But actually, maybe Alpha is the Umi killer. We'll see what goes on here. I appreciate Alpha actually stepping up to the plate. Some of the players were not able to play due to outside problems and issues, so it's cool that we have people stepping up and playing. You know, me, I wouldn't do it because my chip is like less than I won't even say like 2 weeks old. It's been getting body. I'm getting frustrated with that character. But Alpha, I see you out here getting on the sticks. Good stuff. But I think to start off the party, we're going to have, I think it's Stealthy versus Red Ditto. Yes, 80 times his own Red Ditto, I should say. Let me put a little respect on the name.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and this is something that we've seen before. And just because of the way that the bracket fell out tonight, did want to say that the winner of this is going to go to fight Nubenheimer. Nubenheimer got a bye. Speaking of Nubenheimer, fantastic run at Arc Revo. Like, just got to say that. And this, I mean, I feel like with this particular Series E tonight, we're going to talk about a lot of historic stuff that happened last week at Arc Revo, because several of the people who are here were part of that. But also, we have to look ahead to EVO Japan, because several people on this list are going to EVO Japan. I know Punk is going, Hotashi is going, Peppery Splash is going. There are a lot of people who are looking towards that international competition in, at, what is it, Tokyo Big Sight.
Yeah, I think so. And there's also that there's also a team tournament going on, I believe tomorrow, hosted by it's a Rebel tournament hosted by Apology Man. There we go. Forgot who was leading that, but they'll also have all those players too as well that have been storied, as you pointed out, in the Arc Revo finals out here, and of course the best in general in the U.S. But, you know, back to Red Ditto and Stealthy. You know, Stealthy making a big run. We talk about history. We saw him make a pretty damn big run out at Frosty, which was like the most stacked bracket I've seen for Strive in a long time. You had everybody out there. Latif, Tippus, that's where he got his victory at. Latif coming in second. And, you know, Aaron Damac really running a gauntlet with his two characters of Leo and Happy Chaos, and doing it really well out there. I cannot believe his Happy Chaos was that strong by that point, but he definitely made me look like a fool. I was like, there's no way that Happy Chaos is ready for that kind of play, but he did really good. So
he did.
But Stealthy, you know, back to him, you know, one of the most aggressive Axel players, and also a young gun. He's like 17. He's a kid. He probably got, I don't know if he can make through the bracket because it might be his bedtime.
Well, I like, that's the whole thing too. I know we were like pre-show, we were talking about being old, and you know, you're looking at this and you're like, oh, well, this young gun Stealthy who's, you know, out here, he might be able to make it. But for real, Stealthy is so talented, and his gameplay really outshines his years. I think it speaks a lot to the practice and what he's able to do. Because you think about it, and, you know, a lot of times when we're older, we say things like, oh, well, he's got time to practice. Do you remember being in high school and how much homework you had and like after school activities?
Right.
Like, where are you finding time to practice?
Yeah. What Stealthy, what else do you, I bet you do a million other things. I bet you're in like archery class. You probably paint and stuff like that too. You probably got a significant other you got to worry about. You know, you only got your parents are like coming to your door like, yo, you got to go to bed. It's 9 o'clock, go to bed. So there is that essence of like, they don't really have infinite time as much as we'd like to think. It's just your priorities do change. And maybe some of them get more serious. Maybe it's different for some other people, but you're definitely right about that too as well. But I like that no matter if you're young or old, I feel like we still a lot of variance in terms of age for Guilty Gear. The winner was Mochi, a longtime Guilty Gear player. And that's funny because a lot of people are like, this is a young man's game overall. No offense, Stealthy. I'm not saying that, you know, you young guns can't, you know, finish a top level tournament and stuff like that. I mean, we've already seen it. I think Tempest is pretty young himself, like maybe mid-20s.
Oh, yeah,
That's
he's young.
Anyway.
UMISHO's young as well. Razzo often
Umi's
here.
really
I think both of them are, I believe, 21. They're fairly young. I mean, but there are also, you know, very established players. And this is something that comes up, I think, a lot when we talk about Strive, is the number of, I would say years, but it's actually decades in some cases that split the number of top level players. You have really established players who are in their, you know, late 30s, early 40s, who are getting top 8s at a number of different tournaments. And then you have these high level, Evo champ, UMISHO, who's early 20s, Stealthy, who's been doing spectacularly, like you said. And then you have, you know, your more middle ground in your established Guilty Gear players like Hotashi, like Peppery Splash, who are coming in here with a wealth of knowledge from the previous Guilty Gears, and Strive is the big unifier.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. I'm glad that there's not like, it's just on one side, because I feel like it was really in the Zoomer side, you know, players be making TikToks about each other and stuff like that for they get a victory. But I'm glad it's not like that. You know, Mochi we saw doing some work, as you point out, Hotashi, old guard too as well when it comes to Xrd and things like that. And we go way back to some of these players, and I think we'll see more of that in Japan. Some of these players in Japan haven't left, and I think now Japan has more respect. Now that was a Japan Grand Finals, they have more respect, so I think more eyes will be on that scene too as well. And hey, I was one of those people that was like, yo, USA is the strongest, bro. American Eagles flying in the background. I was like, you know, we're not the land of the free, but we turn out to be the land of the free anyway.
Speaking
but
of
we're not
Eagles
going to be free at
flying.
these matches. Woo, this right there. Red Ditto Stealthy, first match, let's get it.
Oh man, this is exciting. I really, I like seeing Axel. Just, I mean, maybe I'll be executed for saying that, but I just don't feel like I see enough of his gameplay.
I think you're right. Axel getting some buffs, you know, making his routing a lot better, accessing more damage in his conversions and combos and stuff like that. Obviously not dumping out what Ram could do, but a more stable character. I think the Axel players are a lot happier about that.
Yes, definitely. All right, so far, I mean, it's been like hit for hit. They're doing really well exchanging all of these different moves. But, low 2K2D and into the RC as well. Oh, wow, what a nice conversion.
Yeah, puts him right up in the corner, FD, just to get different with it when coming through with that grip, and I like that from Stealthy. Sneaking in a little bit something with that dash in, and not just trying to get a normal dash in throw, putting that brakes on a little bit, and off to a fantastic start here with Stealthy, putting Red Ditto out distance, but they are able to dash into the 2K2D starter.
Oh, that was nice. This is really tough. I was trying to figure out what they were doing and not really sure. Just a lot of blocking on Red Ditto's part. Good overhead. It was a nice attempt. The RC as well.
Get that rainwater.
Yeah, I gotta be careful.
A little splash. Oh, the dash. But the throw, the dash cancel? Oh, you so aware, Stealthy. That's the young man reaction. I got those.
Right. Okay, did the whole Rekka? Oh, they had PRC. That's why they did the entire Rekka. I was like, that was risky, especially against somebody like Axel who could easily punish that.
2D in the corner. Air to air right there. Trying to catch him leaving. Dust, red RC. That wall pin. Splat, just like that. Ooh, it's a wrap. God dang. Windshield wipers.
Just like that. That was instantaneous. Good lord. Whew. Okay. What is, oh wow. Red Ditto is really going in now. I feel like they got a lot of confidence from that last round and they are really trying to get in there. And what a catch on that. Salty was trying to do that air dash and they were just able to anti-air and get them back where they wanted them.
Yo, 5P, my beloved. You see your skate step underneath? That's the feat. No! I feel like Super would have killed. Maybe just kind of auto combo right into, not auto combo, but kind of autopiloted into the sorts of situation. Don't let Salty stay alive.
Ooh, yeah, that's like, you don't want to do that. We've seen so many comebacks and things like that. Like, oh, why did you let them live? And then you sit there and you watch them. There was I can't remember who it was between, but it was at Arc Revo, and you knew whoever it was, they whiffed a super. And it was like, because that super would have killed, and it's like, you left them alive and you died for it. And you just had to sit there and hold that, and you know you messed up, and that's what you don't want to do in this game, because any amount of health on your opponent is comeback potential.
I mean, that's true. This is Strive. It don't even matter what character, even though Axel maybe has a lower amount of damage compared to other characters, he can still get it done, especially if he gets those Axel bomber combos. That's when things get real nasty. Stealthy, however, has to be able to get a little bit more solid. I like how he starts off these rounds, but Red Ditto has been doing a good job of dashing on the 5P, but however, Stealthy sneaking in the 2Ks, now getting the Rinse and Explosion, keeping them locked up in the corner.
Ooh, okay. Spent the meter for the RC, but not getting a whole lot out of it. Stealthy, again, very clean rounds so far. Oh, wow, they clashed on the 2K, it looked like, but then Stealthy got the 2D out faster. Stealthy's round ones have been really good. I would like to see that momentum carry into 2 and potentially 3 if they need to. So it's a good start again, but not getting much out of it. Yeah, they're like leaving gaps for Red Ditto to punish.
We'll see if that happens. 6P puts him right back down on the ground. And this is the difficulty right here. If you're Stealthy, you have to find a way out. Does so, gets the distance. And again, oh, here we go. Red Ditto with the far slash burst though. Okay, Stealthy, you have all this bar to play with. This is your game to win. This is your win condition. You have the long distance relationship. Backs up, gets the anti right there. Counter hit addition. Axel bomber combos. The damage is done. You've won. Stealthy with a close slash to finish. And I like this. We spoke about those gaps, right? And one of the things that he's kind of pulling back on, or at least being better about, is the fact that he puts Red Ditto at a distance and not using 5P. We've already seen 5P get skate step underneath. He'll go for 2K 2D preemptively to catch the dash-ins. And here's Stealthy back from the brink. I like this.
I do too, and what I said in that first round was like, oh, I really want more consistency out of Stealthy, and then they were. Like, they were just able to use their buttons effectively. They made sure that all of their confirms had follow-ups. They were ready. They had these really nice little micro backdashes that are actually not getting caught 100% of the time by Red Ditto, which is great. That grab was risky, and then the burst was not the best. I mean, I understand it, but man, that was a problem.
Whew. Damage is a problem. Yo, Daisuke, you see this? Check the rest. Stealthy's almost dead, and that is Oki. However, the throw, though. This is good. Stealthy hasn't caught up in the corner. We talked about this. These moments, these big swinging moments right here from Guilty Gear happen so continuously. However, wasn't able to really capitalize to get that corner situation. BRC does. Ooh. However, the FD gets some space with this place. Whips the throw. The punish here from Red Ditto off that close slash.
I really like the cancel that Red Ditto did on that dust, because it made it very ambiguous what was going on there.
I haven't seen that in a bit.
No, I haven't either, and I think that's good when you have a tool like that to use it very sparingly. It's like the top of that old 1990s food pyramid, like use sparingly, because then you get surprised. Surprised like this damage, god dang!
It's so hard, because like I am, but I'm also like yeah, that's Ram, but it makes sense. Stealthy, it's gonna be hard to make the return over seat right here. RC in, and that was a low right there. However, Stealthy blocking it out, but he can't block too much more. I feel like there's a throw in the future, or just a 5K explosion in play for the perfect Red Ditto. Says you better get some more cheerleaders, dog. You better get some more.
I did not have time to fix my face before that one ended. I was like, yay, caramba. It was definitely all Red Ditto that entire time. Whereas in the previous match, I was like, oh man, Stealthy's doing such a good job checking this and anti-airing and blah, blah, blah. And Red Ditto took that personally. And then there was no more Stealthy.
He's like, you're not familiar with my game. With the RC bar, I got the mix with it. You're not familiar with my game. And I like that because we saw Stealthy, like, getting some space with the space with the FD. So then we see Red Ditto with the dust combos, with the RC, make it ambiguous. Even though we didn't see Stealthy get opened up off that low, it's continued into more pressure into the corner push, where this character has a problem getting out.
Yes, and you can see it. Okay, 2K, 2D, that seems to be what Stealthy really wants to go to a lot of the time, especially when Ram is up close. I'd like to see a little variation, especially because Red Ditto seems to have that kind of unlock. And then again, with this particular overdrive, going to get a lot of damage. and that's the thing is like now you have to work with this positive tension. Ram too just puts you in the corner, ambiguous grab. Man, Red Ditto is just playing all their cards exactly right.
It's that bar usage. The bar usage is definitely helping them to continue on that pressure. Going for the super, getting that Oki, and positive tension for this character. Maybe not the same as Chip, but could definitely do the same amount of damage, or at least close to, in terms of like putting on that pressure in the approach here. Look at that RC backs away, the air to air right there. Uh-oh, flip kick.
Oh.
Empty low. Stealthy though, no 2D, maybe too far for it.
Yeah. Okay, goes in again. Stealthy is just going in for these lows. I would love to see a little more variation in the sickle usage. There's so many tools that Axel has that could work a little bit better. All right, I like the anti-air. They were trying for things, but then Red Ditto, confidence, walks in, knows the confirm, just built that bar of tension to... Is this the vision? That's the vision. All right, that's it.
That's Daisuke's vision right there.
Yeah, that is Daisuke's vision. I mean, he was pretty articulate about his vision over the course of the weekend, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I'm guessing it's difficult just overall in this matchup for Axel to establish those buttons, those dominance with even the specials, because when she's in that mid range, what we saw Far Slash get a counter hit, and then that's corner carry until you're dead. So the exchange for Axel, like it's hard because you have a lot of buttons you can spin economy wise. You have to be so careful because all it takes is one hit from Ram to just ruin all your plans. Like, oh man, I had you anti-airing this and that, and I push you to the corner, I'm setting up for the command grab, and all it takes is Far Slash from Ram to put you right back in the corner, and you have to deal with that pressure. And then we talked about this already. Axel does not have the best defense in the business. You have to like RC out of there. You know, we've seen Axel players use that as an escape option, but if that's not even on the cards, like you don't have that full bar, you have to FD to get some space in. Ram, if you're fighting a good enough Ram player, I should say, will keep that pressure on that it doesn't even matter. So that is a Ram. Moving on in the bracket, we're going to see more Axel. We'll see what happens, and we're going to be seeing who, Jalen?
Alpha versus UMISHO. So excited. We are all praying for Alpha. Esports Arena's own Alpha with a Nagariki. Let's go.
Let's go.
UMISHO. All right, got the first blood. You know what? We take those. And then UMISHO on Soul. And in case you've never seen this is not an unfamiliar character to UMISHO. She is fluent in Soul, if you will.
Yes. You know, I've learned up on the lore. Apparently, the Soul came before or came after all the rest of the characters. She was a main player, then a Happy Chaos player, and then a Soul player. So, can you block? Punish?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Blitz put in. Get in, Dust. FD though, backs him up.
Okay, wow. Oh, nice little punish. I like it. Okay, we BRC to get out of there. Oh, what a nice anti-air there after that. Come on, Alpha, let's go. Oh, you're stressing me out.
I'm getting very stressed right here. Punish on the second hit of the Rekka. Now, Umi has a call from the corner. The backdash though, the throw. Alpha sweep. Alpha sweep. What a read. Come on.
This Nago is mashing. Yes, this Nago is mashing, and we love it. And we here at Esports Arena endorse this behavior.
The backdash was a good read. What are you talking about? That was a smart move. Uh-oh.
Yeah, it was. Okay. Ugh. I mean, it's funny because like I'm looking for things like, oh, how are you going to deal with, you know, the blood usage and things like that. Okay, good punish though. UMISHO with, I was going to say being respectful, but that counter was as disrespectful as it gets. Oh my goodness, have to be so careful. But there's a lot of damage here. Did you get it? No, it was too far away.
But the punish and play here from Umi. The Vortex. Bro, I love that. And I love seeing that against like 5H.
Yo, the air
some of these
throw,
longer range
Alpha,
buttons.
good reads, my dude.
Yo!
I love
Hold on. Celestial Alpha, let me find out.
Yeah, I love how this is extremely biased commentary.
I'm sorry, Umi. It's time for you to take a seat on the stands like a fan.
No.
Runs the super. Is this going to hit?
It kind of
she DP'd the super.
I love it.
You a demon, Umi, for that one. Okay, shout out to Mochi.
Okay. Ooh, Beyblade punished. Yeah, okay, here's the nice stuff from UMISHO. Okay, the burst does come out from Alpha. Just walking at him.
Blood bar. Oh, caught the whip of the throw. One more hit. Burst. Alpha can't spin any of this blood bar. Or he will, wait. He might be good to spin something a little on the closer side. Run for the super. No bar to. Yeah, it's going to be a punish. Dang, so close. Look how close this is, though.
Yeah, that. This is a small preview of EVO Japan Grand Finals.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. Oh
Hold
my
on now.
goodness. Look, Alpha, if you are unfamiliar, Alpha is one of the fabulous staff members of Esports Arena. They are a player wrangler, they're a commentator wrangler, they are all of the things, fabulous tournament organizer. So we're just a little bit excited right now.
Listen, we don't usually do the biased commentary, but Umi, you died today, all right? Let's go, Alpha. Let's go, Alpha. It's all right, you got blood bar boosted up, 6P that. You won't get anti-air, get a few anti-airs. It's all right, you got some space of this place, get in them, go!
Oh, grab was questionable, but Umi showed. Okay, nice. That was a reset of the blood with that. Oh, the punish. Everything hurts, and Alpha is dead.
All right, I don't care if Alpha's a tower Nago, a park Nago, it don't matter. He out here fighting Umi. What are you doing, chat? Not that. Nice jump back though here from Umi, getting a little bit of punish, but not deep dish enough to get anything further.
Oh man, now I want pizza, and you know I'm not hungry.
Dang.
Okay, this is actually nice corner pressure, like the backdash. 2K2D comes out of UMISHO. Oh, she went in for a grab. No, it's not net. Oh gosh, Alpha baby, your blood bar is real high. Oh, I'm questioning everything. Okay.
I'm not that 2H, let it fly. Look at that. There you go. It was all part of the plan. Let the 2H land. Let's go. Alpha.
Adventure. It's
Where
so
were the
easy for
tower?
Alpha. Yeah, you're right.
You know what? Where in the tower is Alpha at? He is Celeste. You can't even see you. Even know where you're at. Can't even see me either. I'm pretty low right now. Chip got me hurt
Fact.
anyway.
Actual facts. Oh, grab gets punished by UMISHO though. Their risk was reasonably high though. Alpha was doing a good job pressuring Umi into the corner. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Alpha, let's go.
Alpha gotta do some good work right here. Unfortunately, has to spin the burst against that 2K2D knockdown. Does not want to get pressured. 5H from downtown, the blood bar all boosted up. Alpha loves to play around this range, and I like it. I like, you know, people that are comfortable in this high blood bar utilizing the normals. The neutral jump. Okay, how did that hit? Oh, Alpha with the other super. I think this one's blocked.
Yeah, that one is definitely
punished.
blocked. Oh my god, the window for punishment for UMISHO was, that was a whole door. That was a screen door that was open.
Oh, the bugs hitting in.
Oh.
Yeah, we bias. Sorry, Umi, but it's. But you see how good the nooch is here from Alpha. Hold on, the nooch kind of looking a little nasty right now. Is this Newman Alpha? Newman Alpha? Is that what's going on?
We don't know Newman Alpha. I like it. I like it a lot. This is just fun. This is a fun match, and again, we appreciate Alpha for stepping up to help fill this out. While, mind you, Alpha is still running the tournament.
Yeah. Still participating in terms of wrangling the players in the Discord right now. In a switch to the Ram. Top tier out here. I like that.
Yeah, we only play top tiers. That's fine. Okay, gold burst. I like it. What an overhead too. Reversal, but punished from UMISHO. Wow, the Mortobato into the RC. This combo is actually disgusting.
Hey, that was pretty good awareness from the side of Alpha. However, Umi has him caught up in the corner. Does combo. Close slash, bar slash. Uh-oh. Bennett Bringer, fast near fist to face. At the, maybe trying to speak on the throw. Eventually jump P. 6P though from Alpha.
And the
answer
RC?
it back.
Okay, UMISHO does have burst if she wants to use it. Oh, the backdash overhead. What a shame.
I think Alpha would have completed that combo previously if you didn't have to wrangle the other players. That's what's going on. Oh, back throw.
Okay. Errant sword throw, but a really good adjustment there from Alpha. They were able to get this ball break. Okay, Ram's kind of nice on this.
Yeah. And the colors too as well. First, get some distance. Super! Yo, the reactions from Alpha! The more about the murder she wrote. Let's go, Alpha!
Yo, just do them. Oh my god, that was incredible. Did you say murder she wrote? I love it.
Yes.
I love that show. Anyway, what is happening? This is content. This is the content you subscribe for here every Thursday at Series E.
And the 6 feet through the gap. I love that. And the corpse run too as well. The corner set situation explosion. BP. This definitely looks like Alpha's main bay. However, Umi came to play and may not let Alpha come through. One more hit will be it. And again, another single solid hit to seal it. Umi is so lucky that Alpha had to wrangle up some players. That's why he stopped blocking right there. That's the only reason. You're so
Should have
lucky.
sent
Winnie.
Alpha
You're so
Arc
lucky.
Revo? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I agree. I no lies detected. That was really fun. Again, thank you, Alpha, for stepping up because you are great. And you're still not out of it. You have more chances. Speaking of people who are still not out of it, who are not in the winner's bracket any longer, Laprise went down 0-3 to Bean. So Bean and that chip already cooking and has moved on into round 2 of winners.
GG's. Alpha, you did actually really well. You know,
for real though.
I would have got clapped way earlier. Well, you did damn good. I saw them combos. You was looking nasty. Yo, Laprice, were you playing Chip? I gotta sit down with you Chip players because there's something that y'all are doing or taking that is making sure that y'all don't get angry or upset every time you get hit with an unoptimal combo. I get hit with one counter hit, bro. I want to quit. I'm like, I'm done with it. But it was Frosty. Oh, you faulty for that one then. That's your bad. That's your bad.
You said that was your bad. You made that mistake. Well, but I mean, you said it was fun. That's good. No, that's really awesome. I like that. I think that's the mindset that you need to have going into a lot of these matches because, I mean, we say it every week. This is top tier gameplay every single week. And every, like half of the time, every single round 1 winner's match could be a grand final on any given day. So to go in here with the mindset of, I'm going to learn from this person, I'm going to have fun playing this person, I'm going to get the knowledge I want and then move on. I think that's great. Get the knowledge, learn from it, improve. That's the point of having these weekly tournament series, so you can improve.
One of the best things about fighting games.
I'm so happy.
Adventure versus Punk. This one's going to be godlike. I want to see what Punk does. I mean, I feel like one of the best footsie players in the business when it comes to any fighting game. We've seen him like do damage with this soul when he's really focused on this game. And I feel like lately he's been a lot more focused, and sometimes I see him lose to things. It's because he doesn't really understand these matchups as well because he doesn't really stay as studious and studious. He might be for Evo Japan. However, all the hits are landing here for Adventure for that wall break.
Yeah, I was actually going to comment that Punk has signed up for both Strive and Street Fighter V for Evo Japan, so I'm guessing that they're focusing fairly heavily on this, but Adventure, nobody plays Jacko like Adventure right now, and they are just excelling at this character.
It is difficult because like her buttons aren't that good, and if you're not able to get close enough to stop her from throwing up the minions, she gonna get into with the quickness, and that's the problematic thing. It's like Adventure is so confident. 2K2D knockdown into the super, and this is unfortunate. Bar built up for the tension. Ooh, in the Oki situation, let's see what Punk does to combat this. Holding this pressure is not what you want to do.
Yeah, definitely don't want to. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Punish. That was a punish. So, like, it is a punish. I guess, okay, but the sandwich situation, this is actually really scary. The threat of that servant being on the other side of Punk was all that he really needed. But this is a good conversion there from Punk. Had to spend that burst, had to spend the burst to just, like, not keep taking all of this damage. Because the thing is, like, Jacko has to get a lot of hits on any character to do a significant amount of damage. Soul needs, like, 2 combos and you're good.
That's true. That's why Soul will never be bad. But however, Jacko is a fantastic character in and of themselves, and Adventure at the pilot, at the wheel, using the 2D to steal that last round. And again, it feels like there's a little bit of lack of matchup knowledge for Punk. But then, as you pointed out, who plays this character like Adventure? I don't think anybody dives as deep with this character. And part of that goes back to the fact that you were mentioning she doesn't do a lot of damage, her normals or whatever, a lot of recovery on them, yada yada, right? He feels so confident in the neutral to utilize those buttons and sneak those buttons in every so often, right? The 2Ds, maybe that was stuck in a little bit obviously where I'll start with it, but I like his neutral overall. Hold on, as I say the commentator's curse.
Yeah,
Whip
that was
punch
a
the
really
5H.
early burst, and I do want to comment on what you were saying about Jacko's, neutral buttons and stuff. Her buttons without the servants are very lackluster, with the exception of like 2 things. Like 236K is good, or something like that. Or that or 236S, I can't remember which at this moment. But without servants, this is what happens. You become a dodgeball or a bouncy ball or something between you and your opponent and the wall. That's all you get. But when Adventure does have the opportunity to set up the servants, go in for these sneaky grabs, go in for the ambiguous sandwich setups and things like that, you're absolutely done for.
It's like you narrating a National Geographic right here. We see it happening in real time as the Maul is getting on the side of Punk. As you say, all these things are coming to fruition. The side switches, the mixes and things like that, the counter hits. As you put it out, not adding to a lot of damage, but it's just adding up to enough to get the job done. And there's one more round for Adventure to be on game point. 6S for some success at that distance. I like him utilizing that button. Got to use that board to kill some of these minions too as well. Knockdown actually goes for the mixed virus C, let me free. Not going to happen.
Yeah, oh boy. There's so many servants on screen, and now they're empowered as well with the cheer servant on. Oh man, you have so much to deal with. Oh my god, and that low was so sneaky. And you get Forever Elysian Driver because of how much buildup there was with the wall damage too. Buddy, you're done.
Done and dusted. This is not looking fun. This is one of those characters that you have to you have to search out Adventure to really understand how to fight them. Like, you can fight a Jacko in tower, but they won't be as confident or as committed to capitalizing on every single situation. And the moment that they feel you lacking, that's why we saw Round Start 2D actually work out. Just waited for a little bit, got the 2D, and that's how the pressure got going and flowing. And again, when that super hits, when that bar's built up and that super hits, and those minions are powered up, it's difficult to deal with in the corner, and it's damn near impossible to find a way out.
You're exactly right. Like, I have nothing else to comment on. I'm like, yep, that's it. That's the one. That's the thing. You got to look out for all of that. And Adventure is just so oppressive. They've really figured something out here. And there's that kick again. I'm actually looking up if it is 236, whatever. But the lows too. That low is so good. It's 236K, yeah, which is also usable in the air, FYI, and is one of her special moves that's usable without a servant. So it's a very important part of her toolkit. And good lord, look at this back and forth. Punk is a ping pong ball in a table tennis match.
Hasn't been able to get anything going. 2D had the bar to make it safe and solid. Follows up with a close slash, and Adventure now on set point dominantly. This looks so difficult. And again, how much do you know about this character?
I mean, yeah, that is the thing, because this is a very underutilized character, especially in NA. So you have to really, if you know you're going to face Adventure, or there's a possibility, you have to at least understand what the character can do. And then you just got to watch Adventure play, because nobody else plays it like so. Not like him.
Mix the low. And the side switch and the throw up in the corner. Bar built up. Nasty amount of bar right here. Burst, waits and baits. Red RC victory. Adventure. Continuing his adventure through the winner's side of things.
Also use the best color for Jacko. Consistently. Like, that is Adventure's color. You know if it's the purple Jacko with the little pink under hair and all of that, you know it's Adventure, and it just makes me happy. I appreciate people who stick to a color theme, you know?
I forgot that you're also a Jacko enthusiast.
I am a Jacko enthusiast. I wish that when I made that cosplay that I had done the pink and purple one, but I decided to do the black one instead because it was Halloween. So, you know, I gotta hold that one, but, you know, I do have my own plushy servant, so there's that.
Ooh, got a little baby kid over there. However, it looks like Adventure is moving on, and, you know, you'll get your chance at, you know, CEO, Combo Breaker, and all that stuff like that, but right now, Punk's chances of moving through the bracket are more slim as he is in loser side. We'll see what he does, and, you know, maybe he'll just run a few matches with Jacko. He's a quick learner when it comes to these games, so I feel like...
Oh, definitely.
It's just like, you know, you have to seek out, that's with any player, you have to seek out that character. You have to seek out the player and say, how do I fight this character, bro? What do I do in the neutral? There's things you can do to fight her, but she's one of those characters that makes you play her game, and you have to figure out how to stop her from putting you in the corner. So we're not going to stop this action. Who do we have up next?
That is what I am trying to see. So, Peppery Splash and Pork Laser is next. Peppery, I mean, do we need to say anything else? Peppery Splash, the Lord himself, the Lord Sato.
The umami lord himself, the umami flavor. Let's see if it's too much for the likes of Pork Laser right here. Pork Laser has been doing pretty decent out here at CVZ. You know, showing out this bike and definitely showing that they're like in the top spot of biking players and really putting on a lot of work with this character. And this matchup, I've seen it happen a few times. I like seeing Kabari come through from this matchup every so often, so I like the preemptiveness in return here for Peppery Splash. Don't let that happen.
Yeah, I'm actually really interested in this as a Viking player. Like, I want to see what Pork Laser is doing, how they're countering, and right now the answer is they're not. Unfortunately, I mean, the thing is, you're playing against Peppery Splash, who's doing an incredible job, calls in the applause, gets the frog afterwards with a perfect. I mean, I would really like. I want to see stuff. I want to see something. Okay, that was a really nice tatami. Good start for that one. Kabari, and then, baited with the backdash, so he didn't get the grab. And then that low Yozansen will get you every time.
Plus frames right there. Jumpy. Wall break with the blicky. Ye-oh blicky, as my boy Maverick would say. One more hit for the finish right here. Pork Laser has many ways to finish the job, and the jumping is the win. Horizontal range on that jumping, making it nice and ambiguous. And you're already worried about her jump-ins from the many options she has. Yozansen. Yes. Jump D, jump S, almost look at that. Yozansen coming through.
Yeah, and the thing is, too, is that's because you can JS into Yozansen, you can TK Yozansen, and you can then mix it up. The JH is no joke either. Like, she does have a lot of options for that. And then, of course, you have to worry about 2H2 to get out of stuff. It's got a lot of travel time. I think the only one, there are very few that have as much travel, except for, like, Jacko. The YRC, though, is challenged. This is a huge issue. Peppery Splash is so able to capitalize on things.
And it was so good to be in that distance, too. To hit the burst that came through with wait and bait. There's the throw, the grip to do it. Peppery Splash covering all of his options and approaches. And, it wasn't free. Like, Pork Laser definitely had some good moments, but however, Peppery caught up in the corner, had them caught up in the corner, I should say. And then this is the other thing is that, Viking, on her side, when it comes for, she can't take too much damage. Like, her health, not a lot. So you have to be very careful how you rotate your options. I would like to see parry exemplified every so often. If Eddie is off the table, if you see that bar red, hit him with the parry every so often with those, if he's too close with the 5P, 2P, / 5H, in those buttons, you'll be able to get a knockdown and some damage.
Right, I mean, the parry is no joke in terms of damage. It does have a lot of recovery. I believe it's 32 frames of recovery, so you have to be really careful. So, I mean, just be aware of that. As a Viking player, if you're like, I'm going to parry. Okay, I like the grab into the kabari, make sure that Peppery isn't going anywhere. This also gives you a good opportunity to kill Eddie, but unfortunately, Peppery with the grab is going to break the kabari.
Kabari has been really good with this matchup. However, air throw, good tech. 2S. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get too much off of this character. Was really looking for like counter hit combos and things like that to make the most. The super. Sword Seal. Excalibur.
Oh,
just make it clap up in the corner, whips the throw,
there's
jump,
H,
counter hit.
Yeah, like I was saying, JH such a good one because there's really no horizontal movement to it. It's all verticality. And what a counter from Peppery Splash! Are you joking? This is why you don't leave people alive.
You see him trying to go for the parry too as well.
Yeah,
but the bar was still there for Zato. Tries to hit him again with the Kabari, but again, you see the ground ruled by the likes of Peppery at that distance, outside the distance of Kabari too as well, continuously backing up enough.
Oh my goodness, the way that Peppery is able to fight fire with fire. You're going to come in, you saw some TK Ozansens, Peppery said, fine, I can TK as well. I have these options too. I'm going to keep you locked down into this corner. Because, I mean, Viking, where she has really good offensive options, getting out of these defensive situations are a little difficult because there's so many of her moves that have a lot of startup.
The far slash is fantastic, but the other moves not so much. Red RC up to 5P. That's gonna be nice and easy victory with the follow-up, of course. You're pointing this out. It's one of the things that makes Viking actually kind of difficult to play, despite at high level. At high level, relax, chat, relax. At high level, I said at high level, you have to understand defensive tendencies of the other player and how to utilize parry. That is a big part of her game. We saw that, and we saw it also get clipped because kind of was hoping to clip Peppery, but Eddie was out, and you can't use parry on Eddie. You want to use it on 5P, 2P, and the likes of Eddie and stuff like that. I'm sorry, Zato. But if Eddie's out and about, you cannot use that option. And now we see Peppery on game point.
I mean, it's like if you're playing Persona 4 Arena and you try to use something like that on one of the Personas. It's like, oops, guess I'll die. I mean, it's a very similar thing. Different game, similar concept.
Uh-oh. All out attack right now. The 2v want to get it done. Jump D. Slump Dog Millionaire? He's still right there.
Wow, that was so ambiguous. Man, every time I watch Peppery play, I'm just like, you're actually a genius. You have a PhD in Guilty Gear.
This dude's quirked up with the sauce. IB, however, here's Pork Laser answered back, and look how much they got their exchange too as well, trying to put the mat down. However, I lied. Pork's doing a fantastic job. I like these Escobares because you leash them up, and there's a lot more you have to do compared to what Leo could do when you leash them up. However, Peppery's got options for that too.
Oh my
You mean you got
goodness.
options against a leash up? Bro, you are godlike.
Pepper, I mean, in contrast to the previous matchup, we're talking about, you know, knowledge and things like that. Peppery Splash knows character matchups. They understand exactly what they're getting into every time they're against somebody. Oh my god, the ambiguity is ridiculous right now.
Oh man, sinking to the ground. A little bit of BM. Did you leave him alive though? Now you leashed up. You might not survive. 6-speed counter hit. Burst. Takes out the blicky for a little bit, trying to get the air throw too far out.
That's so rude, though. You fly away as a bike, and I'm offended.
Feeling a little tight right now.
Yes, it is. Okay, Burst comes out in response from Pork Laser. There was that JD just trying to, you know, catch you doing something silly to Tommy Gaishi.
Look at that 2H2 as well. He's backdash. However, there's the oppose of the throw. Peppery with a 3-0 win over Pork Laser. Definitely was close in some of those rounds. Definitely felt like Pork Laser had that advantage, but there's so many good defensive tactics we see from the likes of Peppery. Good air throws, covering a lot of offense and stuff like that. We see them forcing them to go to the skies, and they back up outside the Kabari distance and run things like drill at the right range to get the knockdown too as well. Like there's a range where outside of Kabari where she has to really commit to like a dash in or whatever. She doesn't have bar, so you can kind of clip her before that comes out, and you want to stop her from coming in as much as possible and killing Eddie, and that's one way to stay steady. So good stuff to Peppery overall up in that match. You said it, very learned up in that match.
I mean, at this level, at Series E, this is the sort of studying that you have to do. You have to know all of your options against every single character. And as far as I know, Peppery has only played Zato during this run of Strive, and I feel like because of that, they've been able to really understand how Zato interacts with the rest of the cast.
That's a character you got to put a lot of work into, but when the pressure's on, that character is definitely hard to stop, and one like Peppery is hard to stop too as well. He won a recent tournament too as well. It was put up or shut up, I believe, by my boy Young LZ. Had to fight Snorlax in the finals and did so dominantly, so he might be able to be dominant in this bracket. We still have the likes of Marvello versus Solstice and SQ versus Hotashi, but before that, Yeso, do some analysis for us.
Yeah, let's just go back and watch that entire Alpha versus UMISHO set. We can just like run that on the replay and we'll just break it down. I'll just drag Alpha in here. We'll go through the whole thing. Great, honestly, first block there. A ton of great sets and a little bit of a more interesting bracket here today. Of course, not a full 16, so some of those first round matchups adjust a little bit. But let's just run through what we've seen so far and kind of give us at least a look forward at what to expect for the rest of this winners round 1 and what we're looking forward to maybe most going into winners round 2. Of course, let's just start at the top of the bracket. Red Ditto with a great start up against Stealthy is going to have a very tough set coming up next because anybody that's got a matchup with NBNHMR is going to have a hard time, but Red Ditto with a strong start today, and that's certainly what you're looking for, right? But having to match up against NBNHMR in the second round, always going to be a tough pill to swallow there, but we'll see how Red Ditto can get things going on that front. Adventure with a great start and getting to see Punk here. Punk we haven't had in Series E in quite a while. I don't know if we've even seen Punk in this season. So very cool to see Punk coming through. Of course, in 0-3 up against Adventure, who continues to be incredibly clean on that Jacko. Is going to sting a little bit, but it's awesome to see Punk here. And I would really love to see if we could get Punk with a strong loser side run and maybe see him deeper in the bracket. I think that would be awesome, but at the very least, awesome to see Punk here today, so appreciate him coming out. Yeah, UMISHO and Alpha. First of all, hats off to Alpha, and like, granted, he plays a ton of sets with a lot of these players. Not only does, you know, Alpha TO, you know, secures commentators, all that kind of stuff. This is the one, you know, filling out the bracket every week and then here in the production room running the event week after week after week. But Alpha spends a lot of time gaming with these players, has built some awesome relationships with a lot of these players, and so has certainly spent quite a bit of time playing some Strive with the likes of Razo, Jonathan Tene, UMISHO, Hotashi, etc., etc. So has, of course, been able to, what's the word I'm looking for? We'll just go with absorb. It's not the one I was looking for, but absorb some of those skills and stuff. And Alpha, look, I can tell you, very talented player at just about any game you put in front of him, and very good in the FGC. So I love getting to see him play up against UMISHO and taking a few rounds away from one of the best players in North America. That's nothing to sneeze at. Of course, the 3-0 still going to sting a little bit, but I respect Alpha stepping up to the plate there to add that extra little matchup. And honestly, that was super fun, so I'm a big fan of that. Bean and Laprise, that one I believe was off stream. And that was Bean taking the 3-0 on that front. Moving on, we'll play the winner of SQ versus Hotashi. So keep an eye on that one. That could be a very, very interesting winners round 2 set. And then, of course, we finished off with Peppery Splash getting the 3-0 over Pork Laser. And that sets up a Peppery Splash versus Adventure set. That's going to be a very good one. Very much looking forward to that. And that's going to be tough. I mean, it's hard to pick against Peppery Splash as of late. Has been so good over the last 6 weeks or so, especially here in Series E, has been just making very deep runs and beating a lot of very talented players on a consistent basis here in Series E as of late. So keep an eye on that set. That's going to be one to look out for going into the next round. Just a quick update on where we sit in losers. Pork Laser versus Punk is a matchup that is set right now. They will be playing off stream for the time being. Still waiting to see who Alpha and Laprise end up matching up against with. And then thanks to the seeding, Stealthy actually gets the bump up to losers round 2. So has a little bit longer to wait for their set on that front. But that is where we stand. We got SQ and Hotashi, we've got Marvello and Solstice, and plenty more coming up here next. And it looks like Cole and Jadalyn are ready to go, so let's hand it back over to them.
And once again, we are back here at Series E for some more Guilty Gear Strive. We've already had some fantastic play, and we're not going to stop today. My name is St. Cole. I'm joined with Jadalyn, and we're about to get into some more action. Who do we have next up on the menu?
Oh my gosh, it just doesn't ever slow down here on Series E, does it? No, next we have XQ, the one, the only, probably one of the more well-known, most well-known RAM players, I would say, in NA, versus Hotashi, who was established as a Nagoriyuki player, but recently switched to Bridget and has been kind of cooking on it.
Yeah, I'm seeing him at my locals, has been seeing him out here at Series E and other tournaments and TNS and stuff like that. I feel like that Bridget has gotten better and better, and it's great to see people be able to take a character within like a month or so and a month and a half and really bring them to a high level. I can't do that, bro. I'll be honest with you. When it comes to learning a new character, I have to rewire my whole brain, but Hotashi and a few other people have actually learned how to utilize this character with the quickness, and she's such a strong character, but I do think that some of the things with her are a little bit overstated in terms of how strong she is. I think some of that's magic knowledge that we're still learning on how to fight her, but she is well rewarded in terms of her pressure. Did get buffed too as well. Let's see how SQ deals with this character.
I think that's the interesting thing. Because of the notable Bridget players, I can think of now Hotashi. I would definitely consider one of them, but of course Diaphone, who's had a lot of success doing an incredible amount of content creation and guides with this character, and I believe Hotashi has been working with Diaphone, finding sort of like the nitty-gritty of this character. But SQ, has been finding so much success on RAM, and every time you think SQ is out, SQ proves you wrong. Just like this, the lead that Hotashi had was ridiculous, and SQ was like, what lead? I don't understand.
I don't understand what a lead is. Here, hold this throw, cough in the corner. Sends out the orb. There's the throw. Again, that's a win. That's a win condition for that character. Send that yo-yo out and about. You lock them down, that block some pressure, and there's not much they can really do. You have to be preemptive against the yo-yo. You cannot just sit in one space and play. However, SQ's all up in that face. Corner carry, close slash, wall break, using the super, the Gundam wing beam. Blah!
Gundam in my Guilty Gear. Fantastic. But no, really, good lord. Oh, I like the jump with a block in there from Hotashi. Unfortunately, SQ, the reads, so good. So much anticipation of what Hotashi was going to do. Is a lot of predicting. And the prediction was great, because if it had gone wrong, Hotashi would have absolutely been able to get a foothold back into that. But now, Yen's doing a much better job with the anti-airing, with the yo-yo. But SQ, huge counter hits, whereas Hotashi's hits have been so lackluster, unfortunately, and that's just the nature of the character.
That's true. You don't need to too much. But for SQ, they do. Especially we see a lot of the far slash come through against Lex's character based on the DPS, spin up the red RC to stay solid. We're to anti right there, but the low up the 2K in play into the super Morobato again. That is murder. SQ row, and that's a murder of Hotashi's character for this next round, the last round, I should say. What I really like though from SQ is that, again, we planned this out. You cannot just sit out when the orb is about. Like, if the yo-yo's here, you know the yo-yo's going to be in the same place every single time it's sent out. You cannot just sit there and hold that pressure, because all that leads into is more tension built up as she, you know, puts you all this block pressure and all this nasty like frame traps and space traps and stuff like that. I like SQ getting preemptive and just jumping out. Even that 2H did not reach to get the anti-air continuously against SQ.
No, and that's the thing, and I really like that you brought that up, because Hotashi is an incredibly aggressive player. They were aggressive on Naga, they're aggressive on the Bridget. SQ is matching aggression for aggression, and I think because the tempo is so similar between the two, it's actually throwing Hotashi for a little bit of a loop, because in previous matches, in matches where Hotashi excels, the player that they're playing against, their tempo is much slower and they become much more hesitant. SQ doesn't know the meaning of hesitation, and she just goes.
It's funny because I think there was a stream that she had like a week ago that was like top most, I guess, aggressive Ram in the business, and she cited herself up to be maybe a little bit less aggressive than Zondo, but definitely top 3. However, I see Hotashi with that wall break. So bar at the bottom here from SQ. Use it for the BRC. Air to air right there. What's next? At the backs him up, gets the last hit. That'll be Hotashi's win.
I liked the decisiveness out of Hotashi in that round. They pressed buttons really purposefully, and that ended up working out really well for them. Again, here, doing really nicely, follows up, just spins to win all the way across the screen. Oh my god, the air movement, Hotashi, genius.
Almost got hit with that close slash. However, you still see some FD every so often from the side of SQ. Running out of bar, has to find a way out, move through the flip, gets a counter hit, forces the burst here from Hotashi, has him caught up in the corner. You have to be so careful about rolling on in aerial, because there could be a 6B, or even on the ground. That button's so good against Bridget.
It's so effective. Hotashi is going to have the, right now, 100% tension, has so much to work with. The RC comes out. This pressure is ridiculous. Tab dust comes out. SQ forced to burst. Hitachi, incredible. He said, you live in this corner. I wanted you here, and thus you stay. Unbelievable. What a turnaround. This is actually, I'm going to put this out there. It's our first non-3-0 of the night that we've had on stream.
This is definitely, I like this. The swanging coming through from both these players, too. SQ, very knowledgeable, but you point out the aggression that Hotashi has, and I like how he is not just, I'm going to set my orb, and if it gets countered, or if I'm afraid to go in, I'm going to get clipped. We've already seen the 6P counter rate come through, but he is not deterred from being aggressive in his approach, from the break, the skate or die, I should say, in the break and things like that. He is not afraid to utilize what's so good about that character, and that's her movement. Like, her movement is fantastic. Yes, you can get checked with the 6P and things like that. Keep it ambiguous. You get in and start your oppression. What a 6P.
Yeah, I really like watching the way Hotashi plays this character. Unfortunately, we're watching them get beat up a lot at this current time. And then the windshield wipers come out as well. I mean, Ram has such an incredible damage output, and we were able to see a lot of that on display at the very high level to this past weekend at Arc Revo. But SQ, once again, is just asserting dominance, but a good DP into the RC, and then the run under for the side switch as well. I really like this. Hotashi, the thing is, like we said from the very first match, if you're still alive, you still have a chance. You're not alive. I'm sorry, my bad.
It is kind of hard for the likes of Bridget to pull this back. There's some characters that the damage is so high, they can get that return over seat, right? A little bit easier. Ram is definitely one of them. For Bridget, it's going to be a little bit harder to get that win condition. You're looking for knockdowns to start the party, and if that's not happening, then that's defeat right there. However, Hotashi has him caught up in the corner. What's the defense like? The whole SQ with the far slash getting that counter hit. And they've been trades sometimes, they've been counter hits. That has been a big pain point button for Hotashi.
It really has. It's got to be so careful. Wow. Oh my goodness. The Rekka combo into the overdrive gets the wall break as well. Area shift. And my goodness, Hotashi is just taking so much damage. SQ is covering the sky and the ground. And you got enough to do another Mortemato? Yeah!
You're too high to fly.
I'm upset.
You're too high to fly. Sorry, you didn't clear. There's no clearance for that. You're too high to fly. Hotashi needs to pull this back ASAP, but now you see SQ's getting a lot more aggressive, getting a lot more preemptive, air to airs, and again, that slash button has been doing a lot of work. That thing is clocked in 9 to 5 plus overtime because we see it so consistently against the buttons of Bridget, and some of her buttons who have actually, they have recovery. 5H, that's got some recovery on it. Slash got some recovery on it too, so you have to be careful what you swing out. Despite how strong she looks, there's ways to play, and I feel like people are starting to understand how to play against this character. Look at that. Minus frames on the whip, dash up, forcing the burst here from Hotashi.
Oh, I love that ambiguous air movement from Hotashi. They stop the dash. And unfortunately, it looked like they were going to do it again, but SQ had it on read. The DP came out from Hotashi. This is giving them all this advantage as they travel across the screen, and they get another RC and the dust as well to finish it off. That was a really nice conversion into a very solid combo.
RC 5P, close slash, backs up, trying to find that jump K in play. Not able to let it happen. Red RC finds the opening, but not much after that. Hotashi got to be super careful right here still, because SQ, we've seen the counter hits come through.
Yeah, oh my goodness. And SQ, again, like, you can never count her out. It doesn't matter how far down she is in life, because she is confident in what she has in her toolkit. Look at this. You thought, how dare you think? Oh, and the whiff wild DP. Oh, my soul has died.
That was godlike. Just a little bit of reaction, a little bit of bait right there. Whip out a button, catch them playing to their own, that same sense of like, I'm gonna do something. If I see you jump at me, however, SQ was ready and steady. Now they're on set point. That was so godlike. However, all right, Hotashi, you have him in the corner. We do next. Got challenged with the air to air right there, but the far slash again counter it.
Why do Ram's buttons go so far? And this, I mean, I comment regularly on Daisuke's vision, but that was really what you envisioned for this character? Okie dokie, artichoke.
So much reward. Super. Get the wall break. Hotashi. There we go, back in business. Now we're seeing something different from the bar at the bottom. It's only about FD. Get some space up in this place. It's about that super. Sending out that extra bit of damage out here. Hotashi, and again, you have to get aggressive. You have to be able to get mobile with this character and put the damage on so you can get that bar built up so you can access the mix too as well, or the super if need be for the finish. SQ still on set point.
Yeah, I am loving the way these two are playing the neutral game, though. Like, the way that they're utilizing backdashes and they're changing up their air momentum, spectacular. Unfortunately, the first person to get caught was Hotashi, and they're going to have to eat all of this. But really, if you want, like, a graduate school lesson in movement and neutral and Guilty Gear Strive, watch the first 10 seconds of this match.
But it's over in a flash. SQ taking down Hotashi with the quickness. I mean, you talked about that movement, that schmovement. SQ got it. And yo, SQ, I know you watching this. All right, you top 3 aggressive Rams up in the business. But it's when you get that, those you see the counter go up on the screen or the sequence starter, and it just feels like it's just a train that don't stop, though. Like, I don't ever see SQ back off, because why does she need to? She puts the pressure on, and it can't last against the likes of SQ. And Hotashi going down to losers. I like the way that she plays against a movement that Hotashi would like to do with the aerial approach. Get stuffed, get stopped, and Hotashi going to have to make that run in losers.
Yeah, unfortunate, because again, I really like the way that Hotashi is playing this character. I think it's like different than Diaphone, in that Diaphone is very calculated in their gameplay, and I don't think the Diaphone is hesitant, but the approach is definitely different. It's, you know, it's planned, it's reserved. Again, not hesitant, but reserved. There's a little bit of difference there, whereas Hotashi is just aggressive and assertive and has ideas and wants to execute them. But SQ, on the other hand, was able to really like eliminate an entire pathway that Hotashi wanted to go in. You wanted to utilize your air movement, I'm going to start challenging you in the air. Okay, well, now that you're grounded, I'm going to start punishing your grounded options. And then it was just like a back and forth of where SQ wanted to punish that, and they were able to really capitalize and shut down the gameplay.
I think that just helps that people are starting to recognize that character is strong. But I'll tell you what, another character that's very strong that people need to start looking for, because the dog was right. The Japanese dog was right. They were spitting when they said Chip is top tier out here. Marvello, also a top level player, and that's just a bad mixture for Solstice to have to deal with. However, the sun may shine on him to get his win. He is one of the premier Ram players too as well. I think aggressive Rams out there, Solstice is definitely one of them. I feel like if you look at like a diagram of like, you know, defense, offense, and all that stuff like that with the other like health values, all that stuff like that, his would be juiced up in the offense. And defense is something that he had to work on and get better at throughout this game. And he's definitely been making a lot better in terms of the defensive decisions as Guilty Gear has gone on. That's why we see him in a lot of top spots.
Completely agree. Now, Marvello, a lot of people, I mean, know him as a fantastic Marvel player. I mean, it's kind of in his name. And plays this very Marvel-like character. And we all know Chip, death by 1,000 cuts, but also crumbles like paper if you catch him on the right time. So right now you're seeing that death by 1,000 cuts, a ton of hits, spent all this bar, gets the RC as well, and Solstice is just unable to participate right now.
Whew, that's the problem with this character. It's hard to back him up. You see the FD bubble immediately? 5K comes into play, and you don't get much space against 5K from the likes of Chip. As soon as that was out and about the 5K, look at that 5K pressure still in front of your face. You see the Rekka combos too as well. The Rekka is another format of this character where it's like you have to be worried about the highs and lows and things like that, especially with the bar built up at the bottom. Throw down the ground, you get again 2H.
Oh, I love that movement from Marvello, just barely dashing out of the way and able to get a huge counter hit afterwards into the RC, forcing that burst out of Solstice. Solstice has got nothing on the table. They barely have enough tension to FD. And what a crossover by Marvello. You're genius, my friend.
2H to seal the deal. Marvello definitely not letting this character do what they have to do. You know, you don't want to let the other character get their win condition. Like a counter hit into the corner carry. You mentioned it before. I've experienced it as a newly christened Chip player that I hate playing him. But if you get hit, it's time to quit. It's over. Like, you're done. You get to play. You get hit with Ram twice. It's not nice. You're dead. You're done. But you see how Marvello just continuously puts on the pressure, and then when he I wouldn't say let off the gas, but like I feel like when his sequences kind of stop, he puts in the 5K, and we talk about how the 5K you don't really get the FD bubble that enough. You know, it doesn't really help, and that's not much of a whip punch, but he does get the follow up with the counter hit. It's Marvello. Solstice in the corner.
Oh my goodness, this is just... I mean, the thing is, too, we just saw everything that Ram can do. We saw it with, you know, with Red Ditto, we saw it with SQ, and now you're seeing what happens when Ram does not get to play the video game. You just die.
Yeah, that's, like, there might be a time, viewers at home, where Solstice clips his character twice, and then you'll see the other side of things of why Ram is so good as well. But Marvello's been doing such a good job of jailing in Solstice, making this look like Alcatraz. He's in that ass. Jump H, FD again. Not too much space. Then goes in for the grip. Look at putting the strike throw game up.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, when you know the strike throw and when you're able to utilize that knowledge, that frame data against your opponent, and you're super fast. Oh my god, the YRC comes through. Marvello has to block here, has to be careful, but they have so much meter to FD that it's not a huge issue. And they, you know what, I don't want to say it. I'm not going to curse you, buddy. There you go. Okay, what a grab from Solstice in response. And the BRC slaps in the head into the Alpha Blade too? My god, Marvello is playing out of his mind right now.
I'm writing down notes. However, it's not over yet. Solstice, you can't put that on Twitter. If you die, can you survive the area right there? Marvello with the bar, use it for the YRC, let me free. Try to jump deep with the 6P, beats it. The fadeaway, clips the Rekka, sends out the sword. FD for the break. Both without too much bar, but the dive kick gets the hit, Marvello.
I'm stressed. That was... Marvello was playing so patiently. Like, it didn't look like it just because Chip isn't able to do so much in the air as the character, because Chip has 3 jumps, or 3 air actions, and is able to, you know, maneuver a little bit more effectively in that airspace, but I was stressed out. I was like, my friend, Marvello, good, and then it was just that air neutral that, you know, other anime games made popular, and they executed.
Chat, you're definitely right. Chip can whip punish a lot of the normals, and that's kind of the name of the game for that character, besides the other ways that he wins. Looking for whip punishes, looking to, you know, get some decent sequences to build the bar for the super wall break into, you know, fast RC, nasty combos and stuff like that, right? But, like, you can see outside the distance. However, 5K I've seen from SQ does a fantastic job, and Solstice may need more of that button. Has to put that back up on the menu. Red RC, oh god, the wall carry right here. 6H, oh, another one. One more hit will seal it. Many ways to party.
Yeah, I mean, one more hit will seal it for Marvello, but so will for Solstice, to be fair. Like, Ram can do that much damage, but I just feel like Marvello... Oh, the YRC came out from Solstice, I understand it. Oh, errant DP from Marvello, though, and like I said, they were both 1 hit away. And there it is. There it was. I loved how, you know, Marvello's sitting at seemingly half health. Solstice has a fraction. And I was like, yeah, they're 1 hit away. And Solstice was like, let me demonstrate how 1 hit away you are.
Let me give you an example of will it kill. It definitely did. Marvello, however, gang out here, going for that super, that wall break, and this is the win condition for this character. Get that fast RC, the nasty mix with it. Solstice has to, and I like that they did the throw tech right there, has to get preemptive. The burst, do not let that bar get built up, because he can just loop that pressure over and over again. 6K, overhead, oh, you're dead.
Wow. Watching Marvello play this character is a treat, honestly. And unfortunately, the last times that I've been on Series E with Marvello there, I haven't gotten to see their matches because they weren't streamed, so this is really awesome for me. I've seen so much growth from him as a player since, actually, it was Frosty 2021. Or, I'm sorry, 2022. I forget what year it is. It was Frosty 2022 when I saw him play the first time. I was like, man, you've improved dramatically.
Look at this confidence. He's definitely a confidence-based sort of player. Hard to stop when he feels himself. RC. Still caught in the corner. Uh-oh. Sorts in IB, / burst. Right back in the corner you go. Rekka. Burst, baits it out. He had that thirst. Let me get it quenched, Marvello.
That was such smart game. So in that last couple of seconds, Solstice burst to try and get out. Marvello, at the same time, had used a BRC, did the drift up BRC, so they were able to go ahead and match, due to the slowdown, the fall animation from Ram in that moment, and totally capitalize on all of that. Because of the BRC, they were still allowed to do the air actions, whereas because of the burst, Solstice was not allowed to participate in any action until they hit the ground. So they were at an innate disadvantage in that particular setup. It's so niche and specific, but that's the level of Guilty Gear that we're playing.
Yeah, it's high level Guilty Gear out here. Y'all are blessed to be impressed by this fantastic Guilty Gear that we have in Marvello. Moving on over Solstice, I would like to see more 5K from Solstice. When I saw SQ and Marvello fight, this was at TNS, it was 5K, and he's been trying to find a good answer to that button alongside the other buttons of Ram. Because like 5K, hard to whip punish. / easy. 5H, easy. But if you put 5K, it's going to catch dashes and things like that. But we'll see if that happens, if they meet up. But right now, Marvello moving confidently through the bracket, showing you what Chip can do at high level when he doesn't explode. He did explode like once, but not enough. And we are going to move into our next match already. Red Ditto.
Speaking of explosions, could be anything. Nubenheimer, phenomenal run at Arc Revo this past weekend. Did spectacularly. And I think they fell out at 4th, was it? I cannot quite remember. But they did really, really well, and it was a pleasure to see them play. Unfortunately, just got hit by Mortabato.
Oof. Looking so good right now. Yeah, YRC ain't gonna let me free. The / 5K follow-up here, Red Ditto. Taking that first game. Let's see what happens right now. Trying to back away to find a whip punish. However, the throw after the RPS, the bloody spin situation, did not commit to anything after. Right now, he's coming to this corner. Nubenheimer has to find a way out, but he does have some fantastic defense. Some of the best 5K reversals in the game. Burst puts him right back in there. Red Ditto with the spacing game, 5P. Talking about the 5Ks and 5Ps, though.
Yeah, I really like Nubenheimer's use of that 5P as an anti-air option, and it really did very well to shut down everything that Red Ditto was doing. There's a strong possibility in one hit Red Ditto dies. But the reverse is true for Nubenheimer. And this setup uses the Beyblade. That was so sneaky to get out of the corner.
Blood all boosted up, but you don't really need that much to get the victory right here. 1-5H, 1-2S, or the 6P to put him to rest with the bloody spin situation right after. Nubenheimer knows how to calculate his blood bar to go far, and I like that with this dude. Like, you don't ever see him have that bloody burst that other Nago players typically have to deal with. It happens, but not consistently.
Yeah, and the thing is, too, and this was something that I noticed during Arc Revo as well, is that when it does happen, Nubenheimer is totally thrown. Like, for the rest of that round, he is mentally not there. So let's see what happens now, Nubenheimer.
You die!
You exemplified everything I just said! Why would you do that?
My bad, Chad. I'm so sorry. The commentator cursed him. So bad. Dang. Part of the reason why it doesn't happen is he's able to get that command grab. The Midnight Sap from Count Black allows him to run out all these specials continuously. Guess what we didn't see? The command grab, which is a big part of his game plan. So Nubenheimer has to get back down to business. I need to see more of those grips to do it. He needs to fill up, stock up on them calories.
Thanks, commentators, the real MVP. I mean, as we were saying it, I was like, yeah, so when Nubenheimer does this, they're thrown for the rest of the match. And it was like, oh, like this? Oops. My bad.
It is hard, though. It's difficult because, you know, you take more damage, and it's something that you can't always deal with. However, Walton.
Just sad dear. Chat, I would like to officially extend my apologies. Okay, look, see, I extended my apologies, and now NBNHMR's doing better. Are you happy?
There's that bite into the super. I like this better here from NBNHMR. We'll get the Oki right after. A lot of things you can do. Get Fukio in for another command grab, and even use that pressure for like, or that thought of that pressure for like a close slash, or even a jump age. Go in with the clone to lock him down, backs up for the super. Has the PRC to stay safe and solid. NBNHMR has some caught in the corner.
This is a really good situation for NBNHMR. And the thing that I'm noticing, even in the difference from last week, look how flippin' aggressive he is.
Bruv.
NBNHMR, this was something that we have talked about, like you and I have talked about it. They've talked about it at Arc Revo. We've talked about it historically, is NBNHMR is very patient and just waits and is one of the more patient players within Guilty Gear. And today that is not the case. He said, today I am aggressive.
That was an insane pressure sequence right there, and now caught in the corner again. The clone coming through, baits it out with the 5K, testing the waters, and that's the easy play. The 2H for the perfect KO. What a rebuttal for the likes of NBNHMR.
Excellent
Bro.
rebuttal. Thank you for
Oh my God.
thank you for not making me look like a terrible person.
Why
and
did I
calling
stop
you out
playing
like
this
that.
character, bro? Why did I stop playing Nago, bro?
Why did you stop playing Nago? Legitimate
I don't
question.
know. You know, personally,
Hey.
Chip was fun. You know, Chip is fun, and I'm trying to, like, you know, get that aggression. I like aggressive characters, but you see, like, you can be aggressive with Nago too as well if you have the right conditions. And again, some of that from the command grab, some of that from the super situation that we saw previously. You can lock people down up in the corner, and that clone too as well. Using that as a bait against a Morobato, Chef Kiss 1-1 right now.
Yeah, 1-1. Again, like, we have not had many non-3-0s tonight. I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 3-0s so far, and we are 7 matches deep. So that is no joke. But Red Ditto doing an excellent job here. Oh my God, NBNHMR. That grab, just eat dirt. It's delicious.
Dine on some dirt. It's dinner time. Close slash, looking for the opening. Close slash again. 5H. Try and build down that blood bar. I like them sword normals doing so. 5K, 6H in play. Close slash, caught the backdash. It's over. Fukio in with the 5P. Nice and easy. NBNHMR.
It's so satisfying when NBNHMR just lands everything, when it all lines up. Just like this. What an excellent display of skill. And you're going to go ahead and get that wall break. Spectacularly done. I love the aggression now. But, okay. Red Ditto was trying to get a little bit of something, especially from the air. NBNHMR not committing to those big buttons, not doing a lot of 2Hs. 2H got him in a lot of trouble just because the recovery is so huge and Ram is able to punish that very effectively. And then another throw. These throws are just netting so many gains for NBNHMR.
You even see Red Ditto trying to back up, but the hands are too far. Gets another midnight sack from Cal Black, and that's that. Red RC 6H victory. No room to burst, no room to breathe right here. And again, once he gets those command grabs, that's where I feel like NBNHMR's feeling the most comfortable, where he's working and operating, because it's such a powerful thing. What was the thing that Juna said? Why are Street Fighter players so worried about Drive Rush, Zangief, when you have a character that can do that? Same thing in this game right here, for even better situational advantage, and can do that at any point in the game, any point in the round, and only thing you have to worry about is having that blood bar boosted up. Nago is a command grab character and definitely gets a lot off these command grabs.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing more that can be said for that, just because, I mean, you can see it. You can see it in practice right here, in action. NBNHMR, whereas in that first round, you know, let the blood pop, it was sad. I'm not going to handy it coded or anything. But now,
Oh, you had to say the magic words!
I'm sorry! It's my fault! I did it again! And then they never let Jalen commentate a NBNHMR match again!
Yo, you definitely get substituted by NBNHMR. I would have won if that team commentator didn't. However, here's the epilogue. Hold on. After credit scene, let's get me. 6H. One more hit. He's still in. Can still win. Of course he still lives.
Of course he
But he
does.
dies.
But yeah, that was a really nice tap dust by Red Ditto, I'll be honest. Yeah, you know, if I do get subtweeted, I will retweet it proudly. I won't lie. I'm a NBNHMR fan.
Yeah, you ain't gonna do that. It's too nice.
No. I love the way NBNHMR plays. I think it's a really cool way. There was a nice 2H. He's been so conservative with those, like I said, but when he uses it, it's fantastic. Got the command grab as well, able to reset the blood, and now the pressure is on. Blocks the Mortabata, but the RC keeps Red Ditto safe. Get thrown back where you belong.
RC to make it nasty, does. Too high to fly, well, you're dead. Damn, NBNHMR. Yeah, make it so high that you aren't even going for the burst at all. Now set point, NBNHMR.
Excellent combos, too. What a strong start. I really like the starts for NBNHMR when they are a little bit more aggressive, when they have a plan and they stick to it. God, you stay there, Red Ditto. I'm going to do it again and going to get all of this wall break damage. Area shift coming up. They should live.
Oh, of course. But for how long? How can you be strong against this character? Because Fukio Bite, 2K, I would have got open up the super and play, get some distance, but that's not Murder, She Wrote. He's still leaving. He's still walking around. I see. You go back to the scene of crime. He's not there anymore. The body's gone.
Well, I mean, how do you kill an undead? He's a vampire.
No, that's true.
You got to be very specific. Okay, ooh. I like the challenge from NBNHMR. Definitely made Red Ditto think twice before they did anything. And then got Beyblade coming out. Full Rekka yeah, Red Ditto went for the full Rekka, and in between the second and third hits of the Rekka, it's very punishable, especially with something like 5P, like NBNHMR did. Yeah, you're doing this. That was smart. That's knowing the matchup. That's knowing that there is a gap in there for punishing if you commit to the full Rekka combo.
I feel like NBNHMR has some of the best defense in the business. Not only like the rebuttal buttons he gets with like 5K, but when he 5Ps and anti-airs and gets the most off of that stuff. And Nago, much like Happy Chaos, maybe not to the same effect, but in a different sort of way with more damage instead of like corner carry. Like, I feel like Nago, like, you have to be good on defense. Like, anyone can structure offense like that. But learning when to 5P, 6P, things like that. Learning, like, when to stay solid, when you can IB punish and stuff like that. Get back throws, backdash, is how you get to a higher level with Nago. Like, you can scam some people like a buddy spin in and do your 100% combo, all that stuff like that. But to stay solid when the pressure's on you, and you have no DP, no bar at the bottom, that takes a lot of learning. And NBNHMR is studious and moves on strongly in the bracket.
Yes, and just a little update for you, not to take Yeso's job completely away from Yeso, but if you're following along with the bracket, which you can do by typing the exclamation point bracket, which people are already doing, Pork Laser was 3-1 over Punk, Laprise 3-1 over Hotashi, so they are going to be moving on. Solstice and Alpha, I know, are playing right now. So there will be more updates with the losers bracket as we continue, but we're going to stay in the winner side of this bracket right now with Peppery Splash versus Adventure.
Lore-wise, are vampires really undead, though? Sounds kind of sanguise to me. Did I say that right? I'm not sure. I mean, it depends on what vampires you subscribe to. I'm more the Twilight type. All right? Now, Burst here from Adventure. Let's see what he does.
The Twilight type. Clip that.
They gotta shine in the sun. All right? You glitter.
Oh, my heavens. So, about this match, which as far as I know has no vampires in it. Just people inhabiting other bodies and weird Guilty Gear things. Just Guilty Gear things. Peppery Splash doing a fantastic job, doing all of the right things at the right time and create... Gosh, you know what's really interesting about this is both of these characters can create sandwich situations because they have an additional character, so to speak. And it's so neat to see the way that both of these players utilize those tools differently. And right now, Peppery just did 2 grabs in a row. I'm expecting a third relatively soon. Went for a command grab, didn't get it. The air throw tech as well. And then uses the 6P to get rid of the servant on incoming. Peppery Splash is actually a genius.
Actually, keeping it perfect too as well. I think this is a matchup where either side gets up in the corner and it's a wrap, right? Like if you get put up in the corner, just call it corner. It's over. It's done. You might as well put out the controller. You'll have your fun the next round. You get to play the next round, all right? Like, because both of them lack a psych and defense. Reversal buttons might be better here on the side of Jacko. 2K2D might be able to work out better for Jacko. Continuously gets to set up the minions, gets a knockdown, more damage from her side in some sequences. And I feel like there's like real kill sequences on the side of Jacko that, Zato doesn't always get. When she gets that bar built up, and that super, and the minions get stocked up or juiced up on vitamin gummies, I'm not sure. But I feel like that happens more consistently than what Zato can do. There's a little bit more on the gap side. But it looks like that's not happening on the side of Peppery Splash. He's not letting that happen at all. He's been really good with neutral. 5 as soon as I say that, gets clipped, red RC, corner carry, minion kick. What do you do now?
Okay. Yeah, and once again, just like you said, it's the person who gets stuck in the corner. And Jim was mentioning in his chat as well. If you're stuck here, well, that's the end of that. I want to point out real quick that Adventure did something really, really smart, but it was very subtle with the servants. In the beginning of that, Adventure had called out a couple of servants. One of them was still in the air, and during that air movement, Peppery Splash was a little far, had called out applause, which would have killed the servant. Adventure shielded that minion in that tiny little second, so it was still safe, it was still out, and was able to get that corner position because of that. It was just a really subtle thing that I think people may have missed, and that was one of the reasons why Adventure won that round.
Very studious in this matchup too as well. You know, he's one of those cats that, like Peppery Splash, is check out his content. Definitely is giving people a sauce out to fight this character somewhat. But, oh no, RC's in. Maybe waiting for a super situation. However, the red RC here from Adventure with the minion follow-up. Look at that. Gets the minion pickup too as well. So one more sends it out. Jump D. Needs a little bit more damage though. It's the minion.
It was right there. Adventure was so smart working around the fact that Peppery Splash did not have any Eddy meter during that point. And right as Peppery Splash got the Eddy meter back, he was dead.
Came back to a corpse. So fortunate.
Well,
I mean, Zato is a corpse, so I guess
I was going to say, I feel like this fits lore-wise. Anyway, enough about Guilty Gear lore. Well, look, in a couple of weeks when we come back after the third series of the Season 3 has ended, we're Series 4. You know who's going to be legal in Series 4? Bedman?
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 Bedman? Is that
Bedman?
I thought somebody said that, like, you don't have to say that. I'm still going to say I don't care. I'm still going to say the question though.
Look,
Mark.
They did it at that panel. All four of them, they made it canon. It's the four of their fault.
Okay. See, there we go. Uh-oh. Super situation. You know what comes after this? Pierce in a corner carry. The applause. 2S. And you see that because Adventure maybe doing a preemptive button to do something, to try to fight back a little bit, to not be caught up in that corner pressure. We see the 2S coming through from Pepper. He's so smart. He's so smart.
He is so smart. It's incredible. The defense calls on these servants from Adventure, though, are also very smart. And I hope people are starting to notice those, because the way that those servants, because they're staying out, it's actually creating pressure situations against Peppery. Not that you know it right now, but it's definitely something to keep in mind against Adventure, because not a lot of people use those defense commands, because it's not like the easiest thing to input on the fly.
Oh, man. They're about to fly through the wall. Make a fall. You're dead. Not even necessary. The big bite. Wait, Zato isn't undead. He's resurrected? Wait. Pretty lifeless? Hold up. Time out. But he died, though, right? If he died and he resurrected, he's undead. He was dead and now he's undead. Is that not the way of undead?
It depends on how he was resurrected and what story, what plot device was used. So, yeah, undead is a specific state. Yeah, I don't know, man, the lore. Maybe that's the next character reading I should do, is the lore of Zato.
I'm watching that 100% because I don't know. I thought he was dead. But right now, he's looking really alive. Peppery Splash on game point.
Heaven help the day that they put Venom in this game, I'm just saying. My goodness. Whew. Okay, so Adventure had a really good start. Oh, Peppery Splash went first, looked like a grab there, and then the really ambiguous air movement from Adventure. Forever Elysium Driver is going to finish this one out. Oh, no, it's not. Submit it to Sajam. I lost my channel points. That's it.
I'm broke. Can't even pay attention. But right now, Adventure is paying attention to this neutral. He's doing a really good job. Even though we've seen a gap and Peppery Splash is almost able to counteract with the 2S and the Pierce to get some corner carry. Adventure having these nasty cross-ups and now eliminates Eddie and Steady. So confident to check that leapfrog off the deck. That was tight. Close slash plus frames. FBA will save you, dog. Caught this corner 2K2D knockdown off the backboard. Dust!
My goodness. Oh, God, he's alive? Submit this one to Sajam, too, because that's ridiculous, actually. YRC is going to break that up, just goes in. Look how low to the ground. That's one of the lowest low moves in this entire game.
That is, dang. I'm just shocked. No offense to Adventure at all. how well Adventure is doing up in this matchup. I'm not going to lie. Like, there's been less gaps and things like that, and how he routes it back when things don't go his way. Like that 2S counter hit, that could have been like way more, and that was the pressure started here for Peppery. Got stopped and stuff with the cross-up, and again, punching the leapfrog outside the skies with the confidence here, beside of Adventure. The way that he is like operating makes me think that we might be going down to a final game, final round eventually if Peppery Splash don't go to town. Oppose, delete stat menu off the table. However, Eddie is off the table too.
Oh, 6P, really nice way to use that anti-air. And the thing is, too, is that during that entire exchange where Pepper Splash was on the ground, they eliminated all of the servants, which now means Adventure is essentially gutted as far as damage goes.
They got that super. Yeah, I thought they were going to recover in time to stay fine. However, that means Oki, that means Pierce, that means you're caught up in the corner. Leapfrog too far up in the distance. 2K2D. Oh, it was a mix the entire time. That's what we'll call it. Peppery Splash with that umami flavor. Jumpy.
I'm wondering if that grab was a missed input, like if they were trying to do something with Dust and happened to have like a forward input and that's what came out. It looked a little suspect.
We call them American combos. American mixes.
Wow, and the slump too. I'm loving seeing other characters do these like wall slump combos. It was not something that we saw very like in the early lifespan of this game. It wasn't something we saw, but now a lot of different people are utilizing it just to maintain the quarter pressure. We saw it a lot with Eno, but not with like everybody. Oh, you stood up. That was unfortunate.
Put him back down to the ground. Peppery Splash, 3-2 against Adventure. And I thought it was going to be a lot closer than that last couple of rounds, but see that BM right there at the end? At the end to save your life? Not going to happen. It went out of the bar before that even happens, and had to make something happen, right? Like you can't just sit there and take all that pressure with the bar coming back after the wall break. Like you can't just sit there and take all that pressure. But unfortunately, you're gonna get clipped eventually. What am I saying?
Yeah.
I feel like this character does have, like kill moments with when they get bar 2 as well. Maybe they're just different than Jacko, but I guess he does have moments where it's just like you put on the controller too.
Oh, this is interesting. So I'm sitting in the Find Your Opponent chat right now, and Adventure's like, this is a round start matchup. And you know what? I don't disagree between the two of them. That was very much round start because once one of them established dominance, like within 3 seconds, that was who won. And unfortunately for Adventure, who isn't out of it, this is still winners, as somebody pointed out in the chat. Peppery Splash is just really able to establish that dominance very, very early. So Peppery Splash will be facing NBNHMR in round 3 of winners. And just as another update, Solstice did beat Alpha 3-1. Thank you, Alpha, for your sacrifice.
We had one in there? Come on now. That's Alpha. Don't let him start playing the game. Don't let him start putting his hands on the sticks. It might be over for all of you.
It could be. But that is going to wrap up this little bit of a portion for now. We're going to go see what Yeso has to say about all of this and break it down for us in a clean, clear, and crisp fashion.
I try my best, gentlemen. Thank you very much. I do want to add a little bit extra on that Alpha Solstice matchup. I went out into production after my last segment and asked Alpha what matchup he was going to get next and which one he wanted more. And honestly, he wanted the Marvello matchup more because he felt like playing against Solstice just doesn't let you play the game. Like the play style and the way that Solstice is able to punish mistakes, Alpha was like, I feel like I don't have a shot in that matchup just because of how Solstice controls the game. But respect to him for taking a game off of Solstice. That is not easy to do. That is a very talented and very, very experienced Ramlethal player there, which we, of course, very well know from watching a ton of Solstice gameplay here in Series E over the first 2 seasons as a player, and of course now as an invited pro here week in and week out. But yeah, I agree. Shoutouts to Alpha on that one. But let's jump up to the top side of the bracket before we update everything going on in losers. Of course, we came into this looking for a few matches to finish up. We were looking at Marvello and Solstice, which of course we know Solstice unfortunately dropping that one 0-3. Marvello with a very strong early showing there. And then the other big one we were looking at was SQ and Hotashi. And SQ keeps it rolling, continues to have strong starts here in Series E. We'll have to see if SQ can have another deep run here today, because that has been really what we've seen from them as of late here in Series E. Of course, a win and a second place in back-to-back weeks for SQ just a few weeks ago. And we'll be looking to do the same here, though. We'll have a tough push through the winner's side of the bracket because, as always, there's demons over there. But a very nice win there. And then, of course, we go back up to the top side, and it's NBNHMR and Red Ditto. And while Red Ditto is able to take a game there, NBNHMR just does NBNHMR things and strongly and pretty commandingly takes that set up against Red Ditto and sends the young Ram down to the loser's side of the bracket. And then the last one we saw, a very entertaining and tight set there between Peppery Splash and Adventure. And unfortunately, just in that last round, Adventure getting backed into a corner and really not being able to find an opening to get back into that last game, force that final round, and Peppery Splash takes the win. And now that sets up what should be a very fun matchup, and one that we've actually seen a few more times than we're necessarily used to here at Series E. But NBNHMR and Peppery Splash up against each other once again. They've been running into each other in this bracket specifically quite a bit as of late, and it should be a very fun set to watch there in winners semifinals. As we look forward to what's coming next, UMISHO and Marvello matching up, as well as Bean and SQ to round out winners side quarterfinals. Those should both be very fun. UMISHO probably feeling fairly strong in that matchup with Marvello, but we'll have to see. Of course, recent history in that matchup has not necessarily gone in UMISHO's favor, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one. And SQ with a very tough set up against Bean. Bean has been so lights out as of late here in Series E, has been doing really, really deep runs on a consistent basis, so that should be a fun one. That's probably my favorite set, honestly, of this winners round 2, because that one should be very close and very fun to watch. Down to the loser side, already talked about Alpha and Solstice, but Porklays are taking the win up against Punk, so unfortunately we won't get to see Punk deeper on in the bracket. And then Laprise up against Hotashi, and that is going to be the win for Laprise. So Hotashi, unfortunately, out here with an 0-2, and still trying to figure things out on that front, but hope that we could see Hotashi returning to the winning ways that we know him very well for. Of course, that is what we saw more often than not here from Hotashi during the first couple seasons of Series E, and I know it will return soon enough. So we'll keep an eye on how things continue to develop on that loser side of the bracket. But coming up next, we've got those final 2 sets there to round out winners quarterfinals, and then we jump into winners semis. And of course, that will be headlined by that initial NBNHMR versus Peppery Splash matchup, and I'm certainly looking forward to it. I hope you are as well. Do want to remind you folks, if you want to support us here at Series E and everything we're doing here at Esports Arena, I encourage you to head over to walmart.com/esports arena today. You can pick up products from any of our Series E partners over there. You can see some of them up on the wall here behind me in the studio. So if you need anything from any of our partners, walmart.com/esports arena has you covered. And of course, it helps us continue to do everything we're doing here at Esports Arena and Series E. So thank you so much for your continued support. I believe we're going to head to a quick break right now. When we come back, Cola and Jadalyn jump right back into the fun. We've got the rest of winners quarterfinals when we come back.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Tyson boneless buffalo bites have that tasty kick of flavor, so they're perfect for any get-together. If there are any left when your guests arrive. Tyson Anytizers Chicken. More kicks of flavor, more smiling snackers, more to love. Tyson.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Series E Guilty Gear Strive, our third season here at Esports Arena on this fabulous Thursday. I am Jadelyn. I am joined by the one, the only, the wonderful St. Cola. I'm going to keep doing that every time I get to lead this in, so buckle up. And we have been having a phenomenal time here on today's Series E, especially because we had Series E's own, Esports Arena's own Alpha, who's unfortunately out of the tournament, but who was here to play to fill out this bracket for us earlier.
Yeah, two came up with Solstice before they exited, so Solstice, you are so lucky that Alpha had to do other duties like wrangling the rest of the players. Speaking of the rest of the players, we have Umi versus Marvello. Next up on the deck, that's going to be Chip versus Soul possibly, or Happy Chaos, but I think she's feeling the flames of the corruption. Yes, it is going to be the Soul. This character, you know what? I'm tired of you Soul players out here gaslighting you, saying, oh, this character's not good, bro. This character, look at what they did in Arc Revo even before that. How can a character that dumps out so much damage and can punish things with a 5k 3-framer be bad? Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, I know that there are people, especially after, I can't remember, it was 2 patches ago when Soul, the routing for Soul changed significantly, and people were like, oh, this is not the same character. No, it's not, but people learned how to make it work, and it was obvious with the level of play at Arc Revo that that is something that people need to really put back onto the plate. Also, UMISHO, Wild Throw, ow!
The damage, obviously, but the fact that she sneaks that in, not even a normal throw, just a wild throw, a little bit more range than a normal throw. So Umi, and we saw that 5k also play against the Records. You gotta be careful about that if you're Marvello. However, here's the 2D knockdown, close slash, jump H, gets in, 2D against 6H, and keeps it nice and meaty with the clone. Nice and well spaced, I lied, 6H applied, the tombstone, here lies you.
Here lies you and your dreams, and possibly your entire game plan, good lord. But, you know, UMISHO, a lot of people, I mean, I know UMISHO put herself on the map because of Happy Chaos, but she is an incredibly competent player with a number of other characters. Unfortunately, as soon as I say that, of course, Marvello is like, I too am competent. I am competent in the ways of Dormazeki, and will burst this wall with my otter. Thank you very much.
This is gang right here. Careful that bar built up. We talked about that fast RC pressure this character has. YRC will let him free for a little bit, but the jump beat back away. RC, not even gonna burst. That's fine. And I like that jump back D from the side of Marvello. That's such a fantastic button to like jump back with and cover the escape options. They try to dash up. You might not be getting a lot, but however, Marvello's getting a lot of this pressure sequence. Resets 2D, Rekka, weighted bait.
I understand what Umi was trying to do, because Marvello has been really aggressive with those diagonal alpha blades, especially in the corner for the setups. UMISHO anticipated something that never showed up. Got a DP, Marvello got a ton of damage off of that. The counter as well, this is going to... Oh, it's not. The wall is going to actually reset. And Marvello switched places with UMISHO. Had to burst. It was going to be a lot of damage. Interesting air movement from UMISHO. Unfortunately, ran out of actions, and that gave Marvello the opportunity to win.
These follow-ups, the classic right there. 2S starter, the 2H alpha blade, Sigma Male grind set on the side of Marvello. And when we say grind set, I really mean grind set with this character. I just went over a stream, and he was like, you have to understand how to play patient with this character, how to whiff punish. It's not about like putting your foot on the gas. And that's, I feel like when you play Chip, you have all this power. You're so fast, you're dashing around the screen doing alpha blades left and right, and you get blown up. But the way to play is how Marvello and how Bean and obviously how Ty play. They back up, they wait for whiff punishes, or they try to start their pressure and approach with Rekkas, and they string people up that way. When the bar's built up, it's time for the guesses.
Well, and the thing is, too, like, that's playing the character really effectively. Because Chip is such a fast character, you're able to punish and whip punish very effectively. And if you can manipulate your movement on screen like the character requires you to, you're going to find a lot of success. Now, if you don't, then you just die. You're a wet paper towel, and you're trying to hold a brick.
I mean, this character can still access some damage. Nice 5P anti right there against the revolver. Close slash, overhead, red RC follow-up. That's going to be victory with the alpha blade again. Marvello, so studious in all these matchups. Look at that. Caught the revolver when they were trying to use it as an escape option. We've seen that from a lot of Souls.
We have seen that from a lot of Souls. And I'm liking seeing that UMISHO is quickly applying some of the things that she saw at Arc Revo this past weekend in her gameplay. I think that speaks a lot to her character and how she learns as a person. Bro, but Marvello's movement is just a sight to behold. Look at the way that, I mean, you said it. Just the movement, the patience, understanding when you can capitalize on these gaps in the recovery periods in the characters. And then he was like, BRC, bye RC, I'm out of here.
Oh, try to get that nasty RC combo with the B sword right there. Try to get that nasty overhead. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get the opening. Now pop in the corner. Oh.
Wow. Oh my gosh, what an aggressive burst there from UMISHO. The YRC does come out from Marvello. It's going to reset it. Marvello is playing so intelligently.
Absolutely. Again, jump, back, jump, D. Continuously from the side of Marvello has been, even in the corner, like, maybe you'd have to, I don't even know if 6P would reach. I think that might actually blow up some 6Ps from, maybe if you're like Testament, maybe that wouldn't work. But it's been catching a lot of these, like if you're trying to dash in with a button, that'll clip them and maybe not getting a full combo, but you're getting some damage, you're backing them up a bit, and you're getting some space. And now Marvello, still sticking obviously with the chip, he's gonna do that, but Umi, still on the soul. Let's see if she can shine right now.
Yeah, I mean, I like that Umi is sticking to this. I mean, yes, we know that she has other characters, but, you know, just finding a lot of consistency. We are still in winners round 2, so it's not like there's a ton of risk to sticking to this character right now. And really, what more advantage, I mean, besides range advantage, what would you have as Happy Chaos? Okay, Marvello does have to burst. Oh, wow, that was a big dive there from UMISHO. This is a lot more damage coming out here, but Marvello does spend the bar. I was going to say they have bar to work with, but it... that
punish.
Oh, yeah. BRC, you could tell that DP was already input, so unfortunate, but, you know, going to move on to the second round here.
Did we say 5K? How could a character with a 3-frame 5K like that be back? Yeah, if it's whipped, it's punished, but, like, come on now. That was a good IB 5K. However, Marvello puts her right back in the corner. 6H wall break, max amount of damage right there. There was some tension after this wall break situation. 2K2D knockdown, close slash. Now it's time to start the party. DP immediately against the overhead of the 6K. Does not want to deal with that with Volcanic Viper.
Did you see how UMISHO backdashed the heck out of there when Marvello started coming in with 2K2D? They were like, I'm not dealing with that. Out of there. But Marvello is gonna, unfortunately, they died. They just got burst back. They had 100% tension. And just like that, UMISHO puts one on the board.
Footsies are getting a lot better, less risk and a lot more reward on the side of her, and it feels like Marvello's getting a little bit more pensive and trying to find openings, and that's kind of just because of the fact that she's moving forward successfully without getting clipped. We haven't seen like 2K2D clip her. I wonder if 5K is going to come out a lot more from the side of Marvello to stuff that approach, but then you got to worry about 5H and that sequence right there. He might, you know, we might see Soul's 5H come through. We might even see Raw Revolver. We'll see though. Marvello still on game point.
Yeah, still on game point. UMISHO has a little bit of a hill to climb. Early burst from Marvello, but not one out of defensiveness. It was aggressive, trying to keep UMISHO locked into that corner. I love that. UMISHO was trying to do some sneaky air movement. Marvello ended up challenging her with just a 5P, which was great. We do get a guard crush there. Marvello, caught backdashing. That is a shame, and that is a lot of damage. Good.
Oh, God. The DP, though, had the bar to bet it, though. 2S, 2H. Tech. RC's in 5P starters, a counter hit combo. Swamp Dog Millionaire still right there.
So
hold this grip.
I really like that. Oh my gosh, and then like you said, 2K2D, the diagonal Alpha Blade comes back out. UMISHO is in the corner again. Marvello has a bar of tension to deal with, but unfortunate, just one flamey, fiery punch to the chin and you died.
That's the win. The Volcanic Viper coming through from the side. And again, she knows this matchup too as well. We've seen the IPs come through. We've seen the punishes, the DPs through the record sequences. I like that. But just like that, you caught up in the corner, almost a wrap. If Marvello has it his way. 2H, puts up the clone, 6H burst. Break some distance.
Yeah, they're working with, yeah, that is the really good question. For how long? These command grab comes out from Marvello, and then a regular grab afterwards. I love the sneakiness of it. The BRC, but UMISHO is just undeterred. Wild throw, you're back into this corner. Wild throw again, do it a third time. Nope, got a guard crush instead.
Okay, starter, red RC, Volcanic Viper. One more hit, the DP, I would have did it too.
Same. I mean, DPs are such good tools in this game, and there are characters that don't have them. So when you have that as, you know, a meterless reversal option, you use it.
She almost did the Arc World Tour. I feel like everyone's doing the Arc World Tour. I saw that at TNS. People were just wild throwing left and right, like you ain't gonna do that. But you know, it's not the worst option when honestly wild throws are fantastic, like in terms of dealing out damage. You switch it up when your normal throws and stuff like that, and your wild throws cool again. It hurts.
Was
though.
it ever not new?
Yeah.
Was it
when
not
was
cool?
it ever not? That's a good point, Jalen. You're right. When was it not?
I fully endorse back-to-back throws. It was not Guilty Gear, but during the Melty Blood Top 8 Evo, one of the competitors did 4 grabs in a row and won. And you know what? Since then, I am a throw enabler.
It wasn't on launch. Might have to go back to the archives, the records. I like that 2K in play though from the round start. Asada Umi. Oh, that's too high to fly with that burst. And you see the camp. Oh my God, you're so nasty. Sticking the wild throw to get the win. Umi on set point goes for the revolver, and then after getting that hit, goes for the wild throw right after. You so nasty.
I feel like UMISHO has the broadcast on, and she's like, "Oh yeah, wild throw." I too like wild throw. Marvello trying their hardest. They were up 2-0 and are getting put back in their place. Marvello would like this to at least have, final game, final round. But that is definitely a good start. UMISHO though, slum what are you calling it?
Slumdog Millionaire.
Oh my goodness. All right, so we do have final game, final round, but UMISHO get a little saucy with it.
Yo, shout out to my boy Range for that one too as well. Definitely hear my boy cutting up, but now they cutting up in neutral. Rekkas trying to get in at D, back up, 2K2D knockdown jump, H, deep fish with it, forcing Umi on the defense and having to block all this. There's a 5K just defense situation. And again, having that 3 frame is so important to be able to get these just defense. And again, might be dying to doing these DPs. There's no par at the bottom to save yourself. Oh my God, what is this combo? Bannerbringer 6H, still alive.
I'm not breathing because I could not believe how much damage UMISHO just did. Please end this with a wild throw. My whole life would be complete if you ended this with a wild throw.
But Marvel comes back from the break, you a goddamn god. However, it's still one touch. Marvel with a lot of cash to spend. Did he get the win? Red RC, jump H, 6K, 5K. I'm faster.
Oh my God. This is the quality content that you subscribe for here on Series E at Esports Arena every Thursday for Guilty Gear Strive. God dang, UMISHO.
No. That's not UMISHO. That's UMISOL. I see you, sis. Oh, God.
Like, what do you even say? What do you say to that?
She got a soul. That's what I could say. She got a soul.
Sure. Chip's health disintegrated. Yes, it did. That is what we call a systematic dismantling.
What? Yo, Silver, they nerfed Soul already. It apparently hasn't done enough. They were right to kill that character or try to kill him because they're still doing work.
Soul is out here pulling a 9 to 5 at a factory every day. Hard working blue collar kind of guy. My heavens. UMISHO. UMISOL. My fault. UMISOL. That was a masterclass in comebacks. But we can't even go off on a whole tangent about that because we're into our next one, Bean versus SQ.
All right, let's see what it do. Bean, another chip player. Like with Bean, maybe it's just me, but I think he's more aggressive.
Yes, I would agree with that.
With it, like different sort of mix. I feel like he's more continuous, like with like resets and stuff. But compared to Marvello, who is more like the whip punish side, like you see like Marvello like will wait back a little bit. Bean just goes in to get that win. 6-8 gets the wall break. Give me my bar back.
Oh my goodness. Bro, 4 a.m. I can't stop watching. Don't stop watching. It's gonna be 6 a.m. by the time we're done for you. And the action just does not stop. Yeah, I would definitely agree with your assessment, Cola, that Bean is more aggressive. And I think that suits the playstyle of the character a lot better. But SQ, we already talked about it, rated themselves as an aggressive player, and they certainly are.
Remember how we talked about like these RAM players doing more 5K? Like SQ has been doing more of the 5K against the chip players, and how the chip players got to work around that button, right? So I'm curious to see what Bean's going to do Has call up in the corner. FD to back them up. Gets a far slash counter hit. Back fist and keeps it nice and close. This personal CQC sort of combat. What I'm seeing right now is that sword sit situation. The super, more than far to go far. You're dead.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Okay, yes. Yes, you are dead. I mean, there have been times, gosh, I will never forget the time that I can't even remember the character, like, who killed who, but I just was like, good, Jesus Christ, and you capitalized that with your voice. But sometimes the damage, just because of the way that scaling works in this game, sometimes there's a lot of damage, and sometimes you just live with a sliver, and everybody's confused.
Yeah. It's like, how did that happen? Even the players get confused. They're like, it's not like a controller, they're like, wait, I'm supposed to be dead. Like, this is your game to win. However, here's the back throw. Bean has him caught in the corner, a lot of bar to utilize. And that bar is really meant for like mix and stuff like that. For RC bar like this, the 6K red RC slump dunk. Yo, that alpha blade was nasty. Hella meaty, no vegan. Put the bombs on into the gang. Super to seal it. Big B, the machine.
I don't know if Junior is still here. Junior, when are we getting a Dota Mazeki plushie? Because I will buy one. I will put it on the wall behind me. I need this in my life.
Oh,
Can
man.
we get a Dota Mazeki plushie?
You know what? I might buy that too. You know, I'm still subscribed to the chip play. You know, it's funny. You watch other chip players or players when you're playing a character and you watch them play. You sort of get ideas and see how they have success. The 5K has not been coming into play. Never mind. SQ back in business with the 5K. I was gonna say like being that kind of made her take off the table, but round start, fantastic. And look at this exchange. That's like commentators Chris if I ever said one.
I know. I was like, you just said, well, something 5K, and then it was like,
well,
spoke. Oh my goodness. SQ just puts damage on the table, and that is the entire Thanksgiving dinner, and you had better be grateful for it.
Bruh, that overhead with the side switch, that's so nasty. You get the side, that's crazy that he landed that way. Bean, not done yet, but has himself caught in the corner. FD a little bit, and I like the aerial approach. However, SQ was just not even steps ahead, but flights ahead. Look at the flights. You're gonna fly.
Yes. Oh my goodness. That is... Just the damage output is ridiculous, but Bean not deterred. And like you said, much more aggressive than Marvello's Bean. Really nice launch there as well. Has enough meter to finish this out again. He said, you want more Dota Mazeki? The crew is here.
The whole crew is here. Nothing to fear, especially when you have that super. Bean not looking to go up on that 2 jump. H round start. Fantastic round start. Look at that. Put the palms on him. 6H, one part of the Rekka, and the bar going to be built up here for Bean. 5K, immediately I like that stop. Again, SQ utilizing that button. And that sets up shop for other things. However, Bean gets real aerial. I feel like we've seen a lot more aerial approach with like jump H. After the RC gets a counter hit, what's next?
Did I say Marvello's Bean? Oh my goodness. I meant Marvello's chip. Thanks. Thank you for calling that out. I appreciate that. Sometimes my brain malfunctions and you know what? Call it out. Thank you.
Yeah.
Marvello's Bean. Marvello goes, this is my bean. Show up this tournament like that.
My can of beans. Uh-oh. SQ has a lot of bar to utilize. What's he going to do with it? I feel like, you know, use this to FD a little bit. Or it's RC. Jump K! Not for defense, but for offense. I'm sitting thinking that's going to be like a way to get out of the corner. To back him up with the YRC. However, Jump K into the BRC. Yo, that BRC Jump K, I see you. I see you, SQ.
That was really, really smart. I love it when you see stuff from players and you're like, man, that was a really intelligent use of the tools that you were given in that moment. You said, I know exactly what's going to happen when I use this and this and this. And it's so creative. And it's one of the things that I really love. I mean, not just about Strive, but about anime games in general, is the ability to be so creative with the tools that you are handed.
I feel like BRC has definitely been the name of the game for a lot of characters. See, like the backdash BRC overheads and things like that from a lot of characters. But that one was just like, you know, BRC get the jump K. SQ, very technical with this character. However, there's a whip punish. He gets a far slash. Can't put that button out too continuously. And another whip punish here for the side of being the 5Ks, the 2Ds, the knockdowns, 2H, jump K, 2S. Look at this damage and the pickup for the perfect. God dang. That's the big knee machine. Don't stop.
I was just watching that whole thing and I was like, are you gonna, okay, yeah, you're going to perfect. This, good lord. The thing that's really interesting in this matchup to me is that Chip is, in both of our this round or this game and the previous set, is that they're fighting into big damage characters. And we're seeing incredibly different results because of the people piloting the character.
Yeah, the exchanges that Bean gets off in these sequences, a lot of people would stop their combos and would have that. Yo, the alpha wave recovery jump H gets a counter hit. That was sick nasty, bro. I love that Bean was at that right range to get the recovery, to get the jump H out of that alpha blade. Oh, he's so optimal. However, so is SQ. Sword explosion. Do another one. Back fist. Check my wrist. It's over. SQ dominant. And now looking to put themselves game to game, round to round.
Check my wrist. What time is it? Time to die. That's what it was. That's what SQ said. And again, I'm really liking, I feel like this is the story of tonight. The way that people are playing their neutral game, their neutral movement options have been so superior, and it is netting a lot of positive gain for it doesn't matter who it is on either side. Ooh, that was the first time I saw a couple of 2Ps just going around being a little errant. But that was a really nice jump into low from Bean. Bean is ridiculous.
Bean puts it right back in the corner. 2D into the super. This is going to hurt again. This is how you get your win with this character. The win condition. The bar built up. Fast RC combos. Jump H. Burst. However, that's a hero one. And God willing, Bean can be a villain. And there's the air throw. Down to the ground you go. No lean. All lean. That's Big Bean.
I am never bored when I watch Series E. Every time I'm on here, I feel like there are moments when we come back to cams, and I know when we're going back to cams because everything is pretty well timed, and I'm still like, well, I guess I'll get my jaw off the floor while I'm on camera, because that is so ridiculous. The level of gameplay that we are privileged to see every week is so much fun, and we just get it week after week. How freaking lucky are we?
We are definitely blessed to be impressed. Again, the side switch situation here from Bean. It's his positional advantage that he's going for. He immediately is like, I want to put up in the corner. I don't want no corner carry combos. Let me get my side switch. And immediately has built up enough bar to get the super. And again, bad situation. FBIB from the side of SQ gets some more pushback against that 5K. And then we see the 6P in play. That's a button now presented a little bit more continuously to catch Bean in his 5Ks. We'll see what he does. Probably like preemptive jump H and maybe take that off the table.
Yeah, I'd be interested. Oh, wow. Early BRC, but gets caught. Does have to use that burst. I think they really wanted to save that burst for another round. But then the aggressive forward drift RC to push SQ all the way into the corner in a matter of 2 seconds.
That's so cheap. The second part of the Rekka. There's that 6B. Counter hit. To get the jump slash, unfortunately, does have him in that corner position. Sudden step from the far slash. Gets a sword explosion. Does pick up. 6H. Goes right for the super to get that Oki going to phone. Do not let them play. Don't let him play today. Don't pick up the controller. FP fast, maybe look for a DP?
Okay, yeah, just gonna end it like that. Good lord, what a perfect in response. So SQ looking to, put another one on the board. Bean would like to close it out right now. And what a great backdash into that moveset. Combo continue. These lows have net so much damage. They have opened SQ up so consistently. And they're having to spend so much meter on SDing because Bean is being so aggressive.
That's less defense.
Oh
the RC to get nasty with it. That was godlike. Yo, SQ trying to survive and thrive with the strive. Gold burst. Time to cash out. Check game early.
I'm going to stop saying what I was about to say. I'll come back to that in a second. Oh, the reverse Mortabato. That did 9.8 gajillion damage.
He's still alive. 5K in play gets the counter it. Dash up, double 5K to do it. Big B. Big B. Lean, mean, fight machine. Big Bean.
That was such well executed gameplay on the side of Bean. So what I was gonna say, so when SQ got that gold burst, immediately Bean backed off. Like Bean was around the corner downtown, was at a different grocery store. He was like, I'm out. But waited, and that brief moment of hesitation in the back, it wasn't hesitation. The backing off made SQ double sort of like rethink what she was about to do, and in that moment of SQ's hesitation, Bean was right back in there. And that was such a great way to manipulate the mental stack. It was incredible because I've never seen Bean back off, like, ever.
Yeah.
And he was
Yes, me too.
gone. He packed his bags. He got on a whole flight and was out of there. And then before you could say anything about it, Bean learned how to manipulate, like, light travel and was back in there.
It's incredible how he maneuvers and pilots the character. Same with Marvella. Any high-level chip is just a blast to play. But it's not like she wasn't doing anything terrible in the neutral. I like the 6P. The 5K wasn't doing enough, so we saw more of the 6P. However, just the confidence for being a good, like, dash up 5K again, even though we saw IBFD to back them up to get that big pushback, it just wasn't enough. Like, I love the alteration. Like, it's just a couple of buttons that try to set up for other buttons, which is kind of the narrative of that neutral. However, it's gonna be Big Bean moving on in the bracket, bruv. I will tell y'all that I am having a good time. I know y'all are having a good time right now. There's like 400 plus, almost 500 of y'all watching this. Make sure y'all tweet out, let the people know what's going on. We have serious action out here at Series E, and again, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty in terms of the tournaments that are being run for Season 3. We're almost at the end. We'll be seeing who is, at the highest of the list in terms of points and who has been consistent. It's actually been less consistent because I feel like last season it was Jonathan Today and Umi the show in terms of winning, but we've seen SQ win, we've seen Diaphone win, and right now we're actually getting the leaderboards up on the screen. I love you, production.
Look at that. I mean,
Yo,
that's because
talk to me,
production is
Jalen.
god luck. So, all right. So this is the point breakdown that we have so far. UMISHO still at the top with 250 points, followed by Tempest, 190. Bean with 150. Bean obviously pulling their weight out here. Adventure doing spectacularly, 135. Raza with 100. And then Red Ditto at the end with 30. So what's really interesting to me here is that all of our sponsored players are taking up those spots right now. Nobody's cracked that who hasn't been sponsored yet.
Okay. These other players trying to play spoiler to that. Peppery Splash, UMISHO back up on the deck. This match, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I hear Nago players complaining about it, and I just don't see it. Because 2S, even though you see it, more whip on the shoulder right there, it's so fantastic. Button against Eddie, Bloody Split, the exchange that you get. Obviously, it's difficult when this character puts you up in the corner. You have to play damn near perfect to get out, get the IB things, get some space with FB, alternating your defense. But your offense, what you get off, is even more fantastic than what Zato can do.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely agree with your assessment. It's just at this point, it's two incredibly high-level character specialists playing against each other. And so that... I'm sorry, did you see that entire exchange from Peppery Splash? That was insane. He jumped in there and he's like, oh, I decided you die now.
I like that resetting too. I like that. Like, you Slumdog Millionaire, get as much damage as possible. Don't go back to neutral. You stepped on the Lego.
Yes, you did, and it was very painful. It might have been a Duplo. Those things hurt.
Those things are nasty.
They're huge.
You know what? Bionicles though, I can step on those. Those aren't that bad.
Yeah, fair. Lord. All right, aggressive burst out of NBNHMR, trying to keep Peppery Splash in the corner, wants to maintain this position. And we did see NBNHMR pop blood twice the last time that they were on stream, so want to make sure that they are maintaining that. Good lord, did you see the way he was getting pushed around by Eddie? It was really good blocking on NBNHMR's part until it wasn't. Unfortunate. Now we're going to the other corner. Peppery Splash is able to manipulate the space so effectively. High, low, doesn't matter. YRC, forget it. Tap dust and you're dead.
Look at this pressure from the side of Peppery. Force of that YRC, ready and steady to counter that. And honestly, again, not much you can do with the side of Nago. You're looking for an opening, and someone like Peppery will not give that so consistently. You're looking for like 5K and all your little special moves at play with the bloody spin, all that nasty stuff. Not going to happen. And Peppery, challenging, as some of y'all pointed out, the aerial approach on the ground too as well. Knows what happens if this character hits you for countering damage. You might be dead. That's the thing about Zato. If your foot is not on the gas, they're going to pass, right? Like, if you are letting up your pressure, they get in front of you, it's hard to make that comeback. Midnight Side from Count Black, it's going to be difficult because that means a lot of specials coming through with no blood penalty.
Yeah, I mean, the way that you're able to break down this character, now I know that you played this character, but it's always important to have that, and have that specific knowledge when you come into this, because you can highlight all of the intricacies of that. Peppery Splash, however, would also like to show you the faults of the character, and the way that you're able to break that down very effectively. NBNHMR, great blocking, but Zato has a command grab, and that is able to do so much. Now, did Peppery block this? Yep, absolutely. FD'd it too, just to make it even worse.
Why is he so aware of all the options? Blocks off that super and double jump D for your troubles. Dang! The D stands for damn! Peppery splash! I mean, you're definitely right in terms of like, I feel like NBNHMR is innate defense is so good that Peppery, that makes him such a good player in avoiding these situations and really bidding out, oh god, the goal burst. Hold up now. Gets that corner push to get outside the worst. The dust for the corner push again. 2S, RC play spin with a little bit of damage.
Oh my god, I mean, one of the things, okay, we're resetting the blood, we'll come back to that. There's something about NBNHMR that I want to talk about later, but right now, Peppery is just doing such a good job in this matchup, and again, of course, he's played this a lot. NBNHMR is going to be able to take this one, so I guess it's a good time to say that during Arc Reva, one of the interviews with NBNHMR, he talked about that one of his advantages as a player is that he is patient. He's an incredibly patient player, and you can see that. What I do like is that he's balancing some of that patience with more assertive decision-making now. And I love that. I love seeing growth in the span of like 5 days.
This was literally about 5 minutes we've seen growth. When he busts, he does so up in the corner, has to walk against the wall, does not get the DP to make the fall. That's unfortunate. No funny DP for you. You might be through the wall yourself here. Gets the buddy spin in. Gold burst.
Another gold burst?
Cash out, cash in. Let's begin that pressure session. Into the super, the scruff McGruff, the big bites. Not enough to kill, but that's Oki.
Oh my goodness, this is... Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, what do you do on Wake Up? It doesn't matter. The YRC comes out. It's good spacing. Peppery was able to backdash and was able to backdash all the way through the Eddie being gone. Unfortunately got grabbed. The YRC was too far. NBNHMR was out of there. Manages to just get in with a spin.
Nah, see, man, start biting you. It's over. He start getting the command grabs. It might be a wrap because that, again, is where he feels comfortable. And again, I mean, that character, it's not even about like him utilizing it for the fact that you get those specials with no blood penalty, that you can just run continuously for like 5 seconds for free. It's about the fact that it adds more layers onto his Fukios. When he Fukios in, you're so afraid of that option. You're worried about, oh, he's gonna bite me. He's gonna hit me with the close slash, even with the back throw or any of that stuff. Even with 2S, we're trying to backdash. So like, it makes that oppression approach even more so. And now he's throwing the clone on to clip Eddie, to stay steady, and I love that from NBNHMR. It's one of the most broken things about this character is that clone. That's why we call it auto zone with the clone. You have to worry about zoning. You have to worry about spacing. You just throw it out and about, and it's right there.
Goodness. I mean, in this match, you have so much to pay attention to, both as yourself, but then also to your opponent, because you have extra meters to look at. And so Peppery is now out of Eddie, but is doing such a great job pressuring in the corner that Eddie was back in no time. NBNHMR didn't have a time to respond, and that's when they really wanted to. The YRC, great use of that, pushes Peppery back so that they're not still in this corner. NBNHMR does still have burst if they need it. That was a very, very good catch. Good anti-air.
Look at that patience though for NBNHMR. You pointed this out previously. He had all that blood bar boosted up, did not want to spend anything at all. And Peppery was maybe expecting him to take that risk, but here's a reward of the super and that patience and that walk down pressure. NBNHMR up around.
My goodness. Every time I think, oh, is this going to be the one that NBNHMR's out? He's not. He's just, I mean, yes, I know it was from his own mouth. He said he's a patient player, but sometimes that patience almost looks like hesitancy. And it's not. It's calculated. It's, you know, very level-headed. And this was an incredible display. Scaling, question mark? Wall break. Okay, if it had not been on the wall, if it wasn't for the wall.
Scaling? Like Batman, but was scaling? Maybe?
Scaling?
The Zato player already knew. They already took the controller.
Yeah, I really like, I can't wait until, like, scaling with Bedman. Like, we're just gonna end everything on an uptick to scaling?
Nago says, nah, you just die. You can't survive out here against this character. No. And when we talk about patience, there's something where, you know, there's a lot of activity of button, but there's a patience that comes from like not using all your specials to boost up your blood bar, or using your specials to boost up that blood bar for a purpose. To have level 2 continuously, we see from NBNHMR, to get back jump ins, extend the range on his buttons, he's willing to take that risk because there's a lot of reward. The risk is you can't take too much damage. You kind of squishy, all boosted up. But there's so much reward for the damage. However, Peppery Splash with a lot more command grabs. Let's see what he does now. Tap dust at that distance, opens him up too far up the 2H. We'll get the double 5P, triple 5P. I don't know if this is gonna hit. Yes, it will.
Oh, it did. Some of these wall slump combos look really ambiguous as far as like the wake up on the opponent. So you have, I'm learning a lot from it. I'm learning more every day. But good lord, Peppery Splash, great answer to the previous 2 games.
Yeah, Peppery has been. We've seen them slump down a little bit, but right before they recover, hits him with the super. Well timed to stay fine, and right now Peppery's trying to stay fine, staving off set point, trying to get clipped, and doing really good without Eddie. You know, it's a 1v1, but you're still able to get it done with these normals. You know, that confidence you have to have as a Zato player overall. When Eddie's not here, you have to be able to fight back.
Yes, totally agree, and Peppery's been doing a fantastic job with that. Nubenheimer, though, was actually able to capitalize this time with Eddie being gone. He's here now, but now Nubenheimer has the corner advantage. Goes in with a PRC, gets the low forces, bursts out of Peppery Splash, but Peppery almost has 100% tension. You have to be careful. Errant 2H trying to anti-air, but didn't really get anything off of it. Fantastic sandwich situation with the frog, and is going to confirm into the super. We're at a 2-2 situation.
I like this. Final games, people. I don't like to see no blowouts, you know what I'm saying? You know, obviously for Alpha, Buddy was busy, right? But for other players at this level, I like to see them go to the limit, and that usually happens because, you know, they play each other so much, the highest level. This is generally how things go. Usually it's 2-2.
Yeah, it is, and I do feel like as we extend through this bracket, it gets down to final game, final round fairly frequently. I will again highlight that in the beginning we were in 3-0 City. It was we went so fast through the first with our round 1 winners. I was like, holy crap, we're just done. Okay.
Anomaly.
It was definitely not something that we have seen particularly often in Series E. I'm blown away that we had that many 3-0s because these are all very, very good players.
Look at Nubenheimer backing for that far slash just to clip the Eddie. Look at that! This time gets a 5H counter hit, tries to get in, burst though. Sends him at that long range, but he's still close enough where he can fight Eddie just nice and easy. Far slash, Pierce comes through, only a little bit of damage, sends out the super, lock him down. However, Peppery with his corner carry.
The way that Peppery was playing so patiently in the back there, like just trying to utilize all of the moves that were ranged and keeping Nubenheimer away, because Nubenheimer, I mean, naturally Nagoriyuki's range is, I don't know, half the screen, 3/4 of the screen. And then Nubenheimer, just like that, is going to dash in. PRC met with a YRC aggressive burst afterwards. And then all the meter that Peppery had, gone. Going to reset with the command grab, wall break. Nubenheimer waited. The calculation, it was ridiculous.
This is again why he is so strong. It's you put that command grab on and so many things to worry about. You saw it right there. 6P denying the guillotine. Not letting them eat cake. 6H can't get ahead of me. That's decapitation. Bad situation right here for the side of Peppery. Lost so much health, and Nubenheimer is going to build up all this bar after the wall break. And the blood bar boosted up, but it doesn't matter. This is the fight. 5K. Red RC backs it up. 2H. 205. 5H for the finish. Nubenheimer at the tip to do it.
Incredible stuff from Nubenheimer. I felt like that was the battle of the, the battle of the professors. You've got Peppery Splash over here who has a PhD in trigonometry. You've got Nubenheimer who has a doctorate of philosophy or something. I don't know. I am making this up entirely. But the level of calculated gameplay and outplay and ability to manipulate the mental stack on both parts, incredible. So that means that Nubenheimer is going to be moving on to winners finals and will be facing the winner of either UMISHO or Bean.
Ooh, that's going to be a fantastic match either way. How can y'all say that match was boring? I can't even, like him just backing up to tease the oppose out and get a little bit of damage off the table and waste the Eddie bar. That's already magnificent play. Like you like in the idea of getting bitten by this character and trying to avoid it, and like how he layers on things after the command grab, that's already fantastic. Y'all just got to be locked in. I see that some of y'all hate these characters and hate Happy Chaos and Nago and stuff like that, but the way that people are panicked, made to panic from these top level players when they play top tier out here, it's not something you see continuously in the lower ranks and stuff like that. I can't do that with Nago. And here we go. More top level action. Chip versus Soul. We saw this, but Umi looking to take down another Chip.
Oh my goodness. And I just want to give a brief update for the losers round. Red Ditto took out Laprise, Adventure took out Solstice, Marvello took out Pork Laser, and then further on, Red Ditto took out Adventure. So we are progressing through the loser side of this thing.
Let's keep it pushing. 6-8, get that wall break. Yo, Bean already has a bar after that wall break. Yeah, I briefly pressed 2 as well. There was no Oki, so I like that 2S here from Umi.
Yeah, I like it too. Umisho been Umi Soul running this entire time so far, but golly, Dave, Bean makes me reconsider life choices that I made a decade ago. Good lord.
Hold up now. Maybe it's time to make a different choice in the character select screen. YRC, burst, offensive style, stay in the corner while. But there we see again the jump back D to do it. We have seen that move continuously. Umi, I don't know, you got to find an answer. But that's been a good closer because we haven't seen it as a combo, but just to close things out. And now, Bean is out and about with this pressure. And again, corner situation where the corner character is fantastic combos from the side of Bean and not letting up on the gas.
No, definitely not. Tento, is Umi committed to Soul? They have been committed to Soul for this particular tournament, and I don't know, the way that Bean is playing, I'm not sure if UMISHO wants to change to another character. But good God, Bean is frightening on Chip.
So, I guess to go more in depth about that, a lot of these players you see, Regina Bridget, to Soul, to have a secondary overall in gear, they're not dropping other characters, but they are trying to get these characters that they're playing to the same level that they have their mains, right? They're trying to get them, like Hotashi. I'm assuming Umi is like that as well. You know, and I feel like Umi had been playing Soul previously to, you know, even Arc Revo Finals. She had always believed in the character, and she was, you know, very right about that. So let's see how well she makes it in this bracket. Bean had a dominant round start or previously, but 2K round start here from the side of Umi. I like that. More of that 2K counter hit play side of Umi has been helping out.
I like too that Umi, after she landed, you know, the air movement and everything, just ran at Bean, trying to establish the pressure and the neutral game that she wants. Wild Throw has been netting so much of UMISHO's damage. PRC was out of range, doesn't get the slowdown. Gonna get a nice 2K2D though from Bean, and now UMISHO back in this corner has to get themselves out if they want to get anything. UMISHO does have burst. I don't know if they want to save it. Golly, do you see all of these IBs?
I guess if this is the burst, not much off that overhead. Fortunately here for Bean to have the bar 5K again. 2D. Oh, look at this, the record pressure. Way to base the DP. That was the entire point. It was a robbery. An absolute setup. In and out, 1, 2, 3, that no bodies, please. On that robbery. Bean baiting out these reactions off the record sequence.
Do we have security cameras? Because that definitely was a robbery, and I know who started it.
You will snitch. That's crazy. I snitched too.
I mean, there we go. All right, Bean, once again. These Alpha Blades are incredible. Backdash not caught by UMISHO, not enough range to do anything. Oh my gosh, YRC is going to reset. What can you do with it, UMISHO? Nothing. We do get a decent reversal, but it doesn't matter. Bean has all of the power in this matchup right now. And again, a DP? Oh my gosh, Bean is just crazy. And then burst that had just come back. Bean is going to use it right there and goes for the low. Umi Soul is crumbling.
The sun's not shining on the Soul. I don't know, but Bean making it so ambiguous in what he wants to do. Like, you want to like press 2S to stop them from coming through. You want to stop them with like close slash and stuff like that. Maybe you want to dash up to your pressure, and then he just does FD break. He just stops right in front of your face. You know, like, when are you going to dash in? And that makes you so hesitant to do anything. And then Bean keeps that pressure on, and it looks like Umi is sticking with the Soul. Umi Soul. She said that's the way to go. However, Bean said you might be going down to losers. Let's see what happens. Bean on game point.
Yeah, okay. Holy round start, UMISHO. It has been 5 in-game seconds, and Bean's dead. Like, you're gone. UMISHO wanted to show you that she is clearly the Umi Soul. This is the character that she has been playing throughout this tournament, and with what dominant fashion.
My bad. I was not familiar with your game like that, Umi with the Soul. My bad. Did not mean to not believe in you. Bean don't believe in you though. Let me see what it do. Umi riding it back for a little bit. Yeah, please see, we're talking about the Rega pressure, and again, the Rega pressure is so much. You want a reversal, but it's too far out the distance to deal with. It keeps it meeting with the club that dash up Gegen.
Not dead, but definitely bleeding. And Bean is just showing what this character can do, but UMISHO, the air combo, said, I didn't like being where I was. Let's go back to the corner from whence you came. But it doesn't matter. Bean with the grab into an RC to end it. This is bonkers.
That was, you can die kick. I'm writing down notes. Write that down, chat. You can die kick after the RC. Write that down. You follow up too. Write that down. Write that down. That's nasty. 2K looking for the fish, for the 2D, burst, a fix to stop. Stay up in the corner a while. Hope that's throw two as well. 2D OTG, get this pressure, get the wreck of the overhead.
Oh my god, that overhead at RC was incredible. To the overhead again. Nope, we're gonna back. Oh my god, there's the overhead. Third time Alpha Blade. And then UMISHO doesn't even have time to burst because this is an unburstable combo. Going to get extra damage from the wall, and Bean, everything is coming up. Bean! Oh my god!
Big Bean machine. But I gotta say, 6S was not success. I saw Bean walk through that button like it was nothing. All right, Arts, you gonna have to fix that button. That button kind of boo-boo. Come on now, that was wild. How was Bean able to dash on in recovery? I don't know. But I will say that, like, it's just, man, like, Bean is so aggressive, it's hard to stop. There were good moments from Umi. We saw fantastic round starts, 2K counter hit, been fantastic, but it's just not enough. When Bean gets started, it's hard to stop him, and there's just not that defense that when you play against a character a lot, like, I'm sure she'd have that with Happy Chaos, but it's not there yet. She's still new with the character. Yeah. My mic is popping. I'll change that. I'm sorry, Chad. I'm not on the right one today.
Oh no! Look, sometimes
the plosives.
The plosives. Yeah. No, I was actually reading that comment and I was like, oh, this person knows all the things, which makes me happy. So thank you for. I appreciate that you're listening actively to this broadcast here on Series E. No, but really, so that means that NBNHMR and Bean are going to be playing in winners finals. SQ and Marvello are currently playing off stream. We are filling out losers. I mean, man, this is. I say it every time I'm here. Every match is a grand finals match, and the quality just doesn't stop. And the thing that's amazing to me is so many of these players fight each other every week, multiple times a week, and the results are different nearly every single time. Nearly every single time. It felt like, again, last season, it felt like it was like 3 players ruling the top spots. It's not like that anymore. And it's not even like that when it comes to character variety. I mean, I feel like there was still variety last season, but you saw a lot of Leo, Zato, Happy Chaos. And, you know, maybe not Ram winning. Now I've seen Ram win, so y'all can't downplay that character anymore. Sorry. Happy Chaos is winning. Brisket winning. So everybody's a threat. Every character's a threat. I mean, there's... Oh no, I think we lost St. Cola's mic.
Am I going?
No, you're there. No, you're there. You were back. Oh. You were talking and then you weren't talking, and then it was weird. Okay. You know what? Streaming is blow up. That is fine.
Yep. Absolute blow up.
It just happens. But you know what doesn't happen? Bad moments with Yeso. So let's go to Yeso to hear all of the good things that he has to say and break it down for us now.
I don't know. I feel like their goal is to just try and make me flush every time they throw over here. Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate the love. Also, I'm on the St. Cola train. Brisket supremacy. We have had 2 Ram wins here in Series E this season between Supernoon and SQ. She is S tier, despite the jokes that you can find in old Series E Guilty Gear Strive VODs made by me just to poke fun. And my good friend Jake Ryan. Ram is God tier, all right? I admit it. It was just all for fun. But when you're looking at this bracket, I'm 100% with Jadalyn. There are so many good matchups front to back in this bracket week after week, and it's why it's so much fun to come out, because we appreciate and love the fact that the top players in North America want to come out and play in Series Z every single Thursday, and we've got some of the best players in NA signed as Series E pros, and we're incredibly proud of that, and proud to continue to support these very talented players as they pursue incredible careers here in esports, and it's why it's so much fun to watch. But let's come back to the bracket, where we're at, and look forward to this winners final. Jalen already setting the stage there. It's a NBNHMR versus Bean, and I love that we've gotten to see UMISHO on the pocket pick, right, playing the sole bad guy here today. No happy chaos for her so far. And look, this is another pick that we've seen UMISHO play before and looking really good on it, but unfortunately it seems like Bean continues to maybe be the newest kryptonite for UMISHO. If you go back to last season, Tempest was the one causing the most problems for UMISHO and the one who could most consistently take sets off of her. And while I don't know that has entirely gone away, but it feels like UMISHO has become more comfortable in that Leo matchup, and that matchup between just Tempest and UMISHO as players is more even than it was a season ago. Now Bean has really risen as that player that just causes problems for UMISHO, and doing it here even on a different character, right? It's not necessarily that Chip versus Happy Chaos matchup. It is Bean that is just finding ways to create openings in UMISHO and take sets, and that's really impressive because not a lot of people can claim that they can do that, but Bean seems to really have figured something out and is looking damn good doing so as of late. So I love to see it. We'll have to see what kind of losers bracket run we can see from UMISHO here today, but falling 0-3 there will make things very, very difficult as the day continues. Of course, NBNHMR taking that set versus Peppery Splash. I told you it was going to be the one to watch, and it absolutely was. They both go the distance. It is the 3-2 win there for NBNHMR, so we'll have to see what Peppery Splash can get going. But let's jump down to the loser side of the bracket, because that's where things are really starting to develop. Into losers round 3, the 4 players we had remaining were SQ, Marvello, Adventure, and Red Ditto. Red Ditto trying to make that deep run here, of course, after losing to NBNHMR in winner's side quarterfinals, and was able to get it done. Is still alive, but will have their toughest matchup yet, possibly. Adventure falling 1-3 up against Red Ditto, and then SQ taking a 3-0 over Marvello gives us our losers bracket quarterfinals. Peppery Splash versus SQ, UMISHO versus Red Ditto. Of course, the winners of those sets get into top 4. They will be battling then for a chance to fight the loser of our winners final. So just for fun, let's throw out some quick predictions. I want to hear what you think in chat. 3 sets I want you to predict. Winners finals, NBNHMR versus Bean. Who's your choice there? I'm taking NBNHMR, but I think it's going to be a close set. I think we see 5 games between those two. On the lower side, Peppery Splash versus SQ. I'm going to take SQ here. Hard to pick against Peppery Splash with the run they've been on as of late, but I'm going to take SQ. I feel like SQ really dials it in when they're able to get later on in the bracket the way they have today. So I'm going to take SQ in that one. And in our other losers quarterfinal set, I'm going to take UMISHO. I'm not going to pick the Ramlethal-Mir. I'm going to take UMISHO being able to figure out that matchup and take down Red Ditto, but that should be a fun one as well. So my picks, NBNHMR, SQ, UMISHO. Let me know who you got. We're headed to a break right now. When we come back, though, it's the run to the finish, folks. Winners finals on the other side.
Hey everybody, welcome back after that short break to what is going to be the finale of this Thursday's Series E for Guilty Gear Strive here at Esports Arena. I'm Jadelyn, this is the one, the only, the wonderful St. Cola, and St. Cola, Yeso had some spicy takes on the predictions.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you so much to Yeso to finally admit that Ram is top tier. As we have all known, I think even the Japanese dog that was talking mad mess about in the head said Ram could play in the toppest of tiers. But also, Yeso did say that there might be some figuring out on the side of Umi versus Red Ditto that Umi would take that. We'll have to see because Umi's soul has been shining, but Red Ditto, I have to say, knows that matchup. I feel like they've had that old play when Jonathan Tanay used to tamper with that character. Jonathan Tanay, I know you're out there. First of all, sorry for all the stuff that's been happening with your electricity. I hope when you get it back that you get off the goddamn Leo and you go to the Soul. That character is good, bro. But we have a lot of good action out here. In fact, we have NBNHMR versus Bean as our winners finals. And one of these will be sitting in the seats of Grand's winner's side.
Bean has been on fire. Bean is cooking. So if Bean can get in and establish their pressure early against NBNHMR, I think Bean probably has this. But NBNHMR is the king of comebacks and has been utilizing the patience that he so articulately said last weekend at Arc Revo and has been making comeback after comeback and is here in Winners Finals.
Definitely fantastic pressure and space trap. Caught the 5K previously. 6H. Wall break, bar at the bottom, but again, you cannot leave this character alive. Not in Strive. Rack up pressure off the far slash. YRC. He can turn back to the Alpha Blade. Dash up 5K. Still in that face.
Oh my goodness. Oh, a little bit of a backdash comes out of Bean. They were trying to set something up. That allowed NBNHMR to get a command grab, was forced to burst. And like you said, St. Cola, you left him alive, and that was your first and only mistake.
You saw his hand twitching. You have to double tack to finish him like that. You gotta shoot twice. You gotta finish the job. He'll come back. Action, movie, hero, star style. This is NBNHMR. His defense and his awareness of, again, that this character can still make the magic happen. We call it one shot for a reason. And I like that season right here from NBNHMR. Getting that side switch, that was fantastic. However, Bean's getting in with that jump slash. They're nice and close, making it ambiguous in how he jumps in, using the FD to come down a different sort of way.
Yeah, and again, I really like the way NBNHMR is carefully choosing his buttons, using those 5Ks to establish the spacing. So good. NBNHMR, game one. Bean started it off so explosively. I was like, yeah, this is the Bean that we've been seeing all day. And NBNHMR was like, no, it isn't. Shut down. He got a shutdown bonus on that. He got like additional gold or something. I don't know.
The overkill bonus?
Yeah, definitely.
I've been playing on Octopath Traveler, Chad. That's definitely what I've been seeing quite a bit. But NBNHMR knows, again, the one shot is all it needs. With not only with when you're fighting, Chip, but any character. And that's the way you should play when you're playing Nago. You're never out of it with this character. Comeback is with damage, and the fact that you can access these specials at any point.
You definitely, what a clash on those 2Ks. Everybody has the same idea. It's like, it's my turn with the 2K 2D. I'm gonna have it now. But then Bean does get the advantage here. They're both hanging onto their burst. Now this is unburstable for NBNHMR. But this is so similar to the first round of the last game. So NBNHMR waiting, trying to catch something with the 5K, doesn't get anything off of it. Alpha Blade comes out. Are we gonna burst? Nope, unburstable. Still not dead because Chip, although you can put out some pretty nice combos, low damage potential overall.
An immediate jump D to delete the clone off the table. That can be an anti-air. I've seen the clone anti-air, but he was right there with the jump D. And again, going with that button. That might be a fantastic button against Nago if he isn't able to get like close slash, possibly. However, Bean losing so much health, and we see the break coming through, doing something different in terms of dashing. But 6P comes through. In Midnight's out and Count Black again. Another bite, no diet. Damn.
No, my gosh. I said it before, I'll say it again, I'm a big NBNHMR fan. I like the way that he plays a lot. I really enjoy his decision making. I have seen so much growth in their gameplay, even from last week to today. Burst comes out, and NBNHMR has learned so much. I'm loving these 5K extensions, too.
Absolutely. I mean, he's been good about utilizing that button. However, 5H now coming through from the side of NBNHMR. And now clips him. He thought he could break in time. They get the bite. Side switch. Actually stays in front. I would have got mixed.
Oh my gosh, and then the overhead didn't come out. Bean had the PRC to save him. We're back in the corner. Grab comes out. What can Numenheimer do to answer this? He's FDing, so he doesn't have a lot of, tension to deal with. And probably gonna finish it out here? Yeah, okay, so Bean puts one on the board. Not in a quick fashion, but definitely in a dominant fashion.
That 5K with punish play also comes from the side of Bean a lot better. I like to see that. A lot more confidence too as well. And that jump D might be a pain point button later on. And also just what's happening up in the corner. You don't get a chance to YRC if you're trying to FD. And again, you see that 5K poking, fishing out all that bar so that doesn't become a threat. Or the super. That's not going to connect either because there's no bar at the bottom at all for that to happen. No chance of a reversal or a rebuttal. We're 1-1 right now.
I love it. I would really, really like if this was final game, final round for this particular set. I don't know if they're going to let me have that, but it would make me real happy. What a reversal from Bean. And just when Bean gets those reversals, he's gone.
Yes.
I don't know. I think this guy has some really good frequent flyer credit card or something because he is on a plane constantly.
Uh-oh. Might be flying Spirit in a second. Close at 6 HDP, that's it. If y'all don't know, Spirit's really bad. If you're not from the US, Spirit's really terrible.
Oh my god. Oh, that was genius. I am lightheaded from holding my breath on that one. Oof. Numenheimer, huge answer here. In one combo, takes over 50% of Bean's life. And in two combos, may end it. Oh, he did.
You were right. Oh my god. Yo, Numenheimer, it's not even the damage. Like, you can complain about the damage of Nago. It's just how he accesses it. It's how he gets it off of anti-airs. How he's so great about situational things that do happen. And Bean's such a hard person to lock down. Never mind Chip. It's that Bean himself is so difficult to deal with. You've already seen him like FD break. But it's when Numenheimer chooses to do with like 5H, 2S, that can be risky. That can be 2D'd. That can be knockdown city and a chip pressure infinitely. It's been good calls from the side of Numenheimer. And on the other end, it's 1-800 damage. Numenheimer, game point.
How is it game point already? Oh my god. And the early burst from Bean. I mean, I know it was trying to be aggressive, but unfortunately, now you're out a helpful tool. And that reversal, unfortunate because it's not so much when it hits, and then you lose everything when you whip.
Oh my god, that's a hit that he needs. The super, the wave check, one more hit, keeps it nice and meaty.
Oh,
Yo, the
no!
quota again, and that's a win with the Fukyo slash. You are such an ass. Numenheimer, that wasn't even necessary. He did a clone, a beta reaction, throws a Fukyo, get got.
It was so unnecessary, and I loved it. I loved every second of it. Oh my god, the way, again, checking with these 5Ks, the backdash coming out. Aggressive. These guys have been using so many aggressive bursts, and I really like that. Oh my god, Bean, baby, you are opened up. You are a present on Christmas Day, and now you are discarded.
This is what I want, Mom. This is what I wanted. Get this out of here. You got me an Xbox when I wanted a PlayStation, but Bean was not able to play today. Numenheimer 3-1 over Bean. The favorited child of Daisuke coming through in the clutch. And again, Numenheimer sits in winner's side grand finals for another tournament. However, it's not over yet. Bean can get his run back, his return over seat, but he's got to work his way to the loser side. And it's a shark pit down there.
It is. I'm sorry. I just saw Carney's Narbenheimer, and I just lost it.
Narbenheimer!
Narbenheimer! Oh no! Well, the thing is that went so quickly, and that was so dominant on the side of Numenheimer. We are waiting for UMISHO versus Red Ditto. In the meantime, though, Peppery did take it 3-2 over SQ. So Peppery in there.
Corked up. Got a little sauce on that umami flavor. Moving through the bracket, and then, of course, as you put it, Umi versus Red Ditto. The winner of that's going to be moving on to fight Peppery. The winner of that will be fighting Bean, and that winner will be your losers side of grand finals. That'll be our finale. So we only have a few more matches. I'm so sad. There should be more.
I know.
Give me more.
We are straight cooking. Too many good sets. You're exactly right. I feel like we finally have a chance to breathe because we do have this one little second while we're waiting for UMISHO and Red Ditto to play out. I'm sure that's a very intense match, and if either of them are streaming, you may be able to catch that or on the VODs later, but not enough. These are great sets. These are fantastic sets, unless you mean we need more great sets.
That's what they meant. Yeah, I'll correct you guys. I got you. I saw you were the Nago hater, right? Come on now. You gotta love what he was doing with the Nago. You can hate what was going on with Nago, but you can like what NBNHMR was doing. You know what I'm saying? I don't like when Geek comes up on the screen, but I can respect their game when they make some good comebacks. You know what I'm saying? You ain't a Nago hater? It's okay if you are. I'm a hater of many characters, especially in Gear. Many of us are.
I love it. Oh my gosh. All right, so we are. I'm watching UMISHO and Red Ditto type. Red Ditto took it 3-2.
Okay, Red Ditto.
So we do not have the YESO predictions. Interesting.
Oh, YESO was wrong. I can't wait till we get to throw back to him and see his face. The Ram play, but you know what? Also, he gets to downplay Ram for a little bit longer, so that's beneficial for him, for the Ram not to win. So that's a win for YESO either which way. He was playing both sides, but right now that means we're gonna get Peppery Splash versus Red Ditto.
Right, and I'm going back and I'm checking the bracket. So just to make sure, I don't think these two have played each other. No, so they were on the same side of the bracket, but NBNHMR put Red Ditto into losers the same round that Peppery Splash won, so they have not faced each other yet today.
Okay.
So we are going to get Peppery versus Red Ditto coming up next.
Nice. That'll be a fantastic match. I see people talking in the chat about the characters they hate. I hate playing against Jacko, and I hate playing against Gold Lewis too. Like, even if I win that matchup, I despise some about that character, but I respect them. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate all of you respecting the players too as well. They are playing at their highest level. You definitely see why they're so much further than the other people that you might play up and ranked and stuff like that. Their decision making on defense, what they do on offense, what they do to make the other person waste bar, and their resources, how they interact with the resources of other players. That's what fighting games are so great. At high level, when you see all that stuff, it really pulls out why fighting games are so good. You know, fighting games can be fun at lower level, but you see them at their highest. You see these options get rotated. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, I do too. And the thing is, like, you can, you know, when you dilute the gameplay to bits and pieces, you can take that high level gameplay and one thing from it and bring it back to wherever you are, floor 8, floor 9, floor 2, and like take one thing that you learn. There's always something that you can learn from high level gameplay, and there's always something that you can learn from low level gameplay too, because sometimes it's harder to fight a lower skilled player because they are wild and you can't predict what they're doing, whereas at a higher tier you can, things become a little bit more prescribed. So it's interesting when you get to see things like this, that you just get so much varied gameplay, so many different ideas. You were saying, "Oh, chat, write that down for some of the chip systems," because you've been learning Chip, and you've been learning what he can do, and what his advantages and disadvantages are, and you are actively learning from this. And the thing is, chat, we as commentators, I mean, we play these games all the time, so we are also taking the things that we see on tournament after tournament, not just the ones that we commentate, but the ones that we watch as well, and that informs our own gameplay, and that informs, the different levels of things that we get to do. We learn from you guys and your matches too. So don't think that no matter where you are in this, arena, that we don't notice and we don't take note of what you all bring to the table.
We're definitely watching everybody out there. It doesn't matter who it is, especially with Strive having so much variance in terms of like high-level players. I feel like there's so many more high-level players with this game because of the netcode and because people are just grinding all the time. It used to be I can get Celestial easily. Like the first 3 months, I was like, "Oh, Celestial easy. It's gonna be a breeze." But now I can't even crack 410 right now, and right now I can't even crack 4.8 with my chip. My chip is horrendous, Chad. But I will say that these two players are not horrendous in their play unless it's with the mix. Peppery Splash, Red Ditto. Let's see who's got that umami flavor.
Could be anyone. It could be. Oh my god! What was a 97-second burst? Peppery Splash, please don't hit me. I hate it. Thank you.
Hey, I dropped Nago after BHM because they gon' hurt him. They gonna say February's over. It's time to go in. I can nerf him now. However, Peppery does have Red Ditto caught up in the corner. Close slash starter, red RC. Uh-oh, go for it. Oh, I thought it was going to be a command grab, but no finish from the side of Peppery Splash.
From the side of Red Pepper? I like this. Is that their name now? It's Red Pepper? I like it. When they play, that's canon. All right, that's going in the
canon.
books.
That's canon.
That's canon.
Red pepper.
It's red pepper. Oh my goodness. Red Ditto was so risky with the first kick of that Rekka. I felt like Peppery could have opened him up every which way to Sunday, and he didn't. And Red Ditto is still in there. I am questioning the use of the Rekkas now from Red Ditto. That's the timing is really interesting, and Peppery seems to be getting a read on it.
Uh-oh, Pierce, wall break, 5P. That's bar back, you see. And honestly, I like that Peppery's been swinging like 2K. It's been clipping some of these flashes in play. 2S, whips the 6P, RC, gets that 2K. That's what I'm talking about.
Ooh! Oh my gosh, you forgot he could fly. you tried to do drift BRC, and he was like, but I'm a bat. And he flew right over and punished.
The Birdman, I see. Good stuff for Peppery for that avoidance. But again, that 2K, I really like the confidence from that button. Because it's been clipping like far slash and starting like if he's close up 2K 2D. And if it doesn't, it's at least a hit to eventually summon out Eddie, because you need something to safely summon out Eddie on block or on hit. And round start actually kind of difficult, because what's the character going to do? Like, you have to be able to send out Eddie to stay, you know, strong at these matchups. Look at that, has to back off. If you can't do it right, don't send out Eddie right.
No, I mean, that is a massive part of your toolkit, and you're exactly right. You have to be calculated with how you do it, because if you lose Eddie, just like Jacko, you've lost a whole huge part. The burst on the Mortabata, so smart from Peppery Splash.
Absolutely.
And then you have this whole thing. Yeah, wow.
Oh my god.
The applause and frog, 6P, and just, sword super for more damage. Disgusting.
You see the distance that he was at. Peppery, again, we've seen him look at like reversal buttons. He backed up, got the 6P, clipped that far slash, and that's the end. Red Ditto needs to start doing something different, but Peppery looking out for what happens up in this corner. Guillotine.
What an overhead to start with the counter hit, too. That is such a dominant way to start this game, and the burst does work, but it's not looking great. I agree. Red Ditto has to do something different, but what are you going to do when you're stuck to the wall? You're like a butterfly on one of those pin boards.
Getting chefed up right now. Cooked up in the corner. And again, applause. Throw. And there you go. Peppery Splash covering all the options to approach up in the corner. You have leapfrog locking it down, the throw on the ground. It's over. 2 games with the quickness. How many 3-0s are we going to get? This umami is too powerful.
Yeah, I mean, I was counting in the break, and I believe I said we had, 7 or 8 3-0s today? That is so uncharacteristic of a Series E. Yes, I understand that we're reaching the end of Season 3, and people are fighting for those points, and we already saw the point breakdown. But man, oh manatee, are people coming for blood today.
Definitely season up a little of that spice that ain't so nice for the side of Peppery Splash. On game point. Red Ditto getting a better round start, burst off the table because of the Swartzen situation. That's unfortunate. Now we get that wall pin break with the super, get that bar back, cash out, cash in. Let's begin with that Oki. We're going to see close slash, dash up throw. I would have got hit.
Yeah, and this is the kind of difference that I did want to see from Red Ditto. It's much more confident. There was a lot better button pressing. It was just smarter gameplay overall. If Red Ditto can maintain this, there's definitely the option for them to come back in this series. But Peppery Splash does not want it. As you said, the umami flavor, I think, is definitely in Peppery Splash's side today.
Gets a guillotine. Slump, you thought it was over? I've only just begun. The super, eat them up, and Peppery Splash. Go for so many options. Of course, it's the Pierce, the 2S, preemptively too as well, because Red Ditto has to press something. He's got to look for a trade to get out of the corner. However, he almost got out of the corner. He does so with the sword situation. Off the low of the RC bar for that makes, the red RC off the 5P, the 5P again for the whip. Peppery Splash, set point.
That run under, that entire exchange from Peppery Splash was just sheer genius. He is so aware of what he has at his disposal. And then the throw, the reverse into the corner. Red Ditto has burst, but are they going to get to use it at all during this match? Are they going to be able to press a button during this match? This is insane from Peppery.
Slash start, or at least gets the counter hit. 6H, sword send, explosion. No super though. That would have been a little better, but Red Ditto does have the bar at the bottom to fight back with it. Peppery got to be careful.
Oh my
You're
goodness.
basically dead. Oh, you're not dead. I'm sorry. I was not familiar with your game, Peppery Splash. The dust, the burst. Anybody's game.
Oh my god, the tech. This is so scary. PRC, wow, what a kick from Red Ditto. So we're not going to go down 3-0. We at least have a 3-1 in play. But you said, Zancola, that you wanted to see Red Ditto do something different. And that time there was at least differences and adjustments in the gameplay.
Mm-hmm. And Red Ditto, again, when being able to use that bar for these, like, high-low mix-ups with this character has been fantastic. And I like to see that from the side of him, right? And I like him being a little bit more preemptive with the far slash. You get clipped and knocked down, 2K comes through. But there's some distances where I feel like Red Ditto's been preemptive with that button. He's got counter hit. And look at that. Yeah, backing away from that 2K play does not want to get hit with what's in the game.
Oh my goodness. Look at that was the most hesitation I've seen out of either of these players during this particular set. That was a lot. 2K2D coming out, Peppery Splash, pushing into the corner, the grab with the immediate frog to back it up to get into the corner, get the wall splat. Incredible game awareness. What a combo, too.
But yo, the transition after that sequence, Red Ditto be pressing that far slash. That's something that Peppery Splash has to put up in his bank. We've seen that continuously, and that's led to Red Ditto making a turnover. See, however, I don't know. RC, 5P, 5P, 5P. So bar to bottom, RC's in the dust. The mallet to mash up the meat. That's the feat. Set point Peppery Splash.
I could watch Peppery Splash play all day and I would learn something different from every single set because of the way that they play. It's incredible. Having to block a ton from Red Ditto, does not have burst, was building risk as well. And because they got hit, it's gone, but Peppery Splash is never afraid. Gets the burst out of Red Ditto because they were like, please just stay in this corner for the love of all that is holy. I would like you to be here and stay here. I think Peppery Splash is just gonna, you gotta hold that, sorry.
Yeah. You ain't got no way to play after this. That's a super to seal it. However, the Peppery does hold on the burst for the next round going down, so I wonder how that's going to be implemented. Go for an offensive burst, gold edition. Will at least, I was going to say Eddie was going to get that corner carry, but the slash comes through from Red Ditto, back in business with that button. 2D knockdown. The side switch, Eddie sandwich to maximize the damage. Look at that. 2-way sleep frog gets a wall break. How did he get in the front? Houdini, you can't even see me.
That was spectacular. What a use of Eddie and the sandwich situation. The tap dust coming out as well. PRC to close the distance, and he says, slap, you don't have kneecaps. Perfect. Peppery Splash moves on to losers finals. Unbelievable. That exchange, wow. I mean, you said it. Like, you articulated all of the different moves that were in there, and the side switch and the Houdini. It was Houdini. It reminds me of the beginning of the Prestige, where the guy ends up in the different, like, on the other side, and it's a second person. Peppery Splash, are there two people? What's going on here? Spoilers if you've not seen that movie. Anyway, dude, that came out in like 2005 though. It's been a while.
Yeah, hold that. You ain't seen that, it's your own fault. But right now you're seeing Peppery Splash get through with the nastiest mix to do it. Will it be enough to stay solid against the likes of Bean, who's got their own spice that ain't nice? Because honestly, I watch Latif and he fights the chip players, and it's just him getting upset. And I don't know if this is a good matchup for Zato, bro. The 2Ks, the dash up 2K, to kill Eddie, and then they just put the mix on this character with no defense. It's going to really matter what happens in the round start. And it's going to really matter if he can get that knockdown pressure and then bait out these reversal options. But Peppery's been able to back up enough. We saw if Slash comes out, he'll 6P that, right? It's like the space trap that he does. That I feel like he's always aware of what you want to do up in the corner. So that's going to be really pivotal, because if Bean whiffs out a DP, he'll die for it. So we'll have to see, though. I don't know. Bean himself, I think he wants that run back.
I think Bean does, too. I mean, Bean has been playing so spectacularly. The entire Series E has been coming out with such great chip gameplay. I mean, things that I'm like, wow, I didn't know Chip could do all that. I've hypothesized that Chip could do all that, and then Bean puts it into reality. And would definitely want to be able to have that run back against NBNHMR. It was a really good set. Yeah, NBNHMR took it 3-1, but it's one of those things where there was a lot of comeback potential from Bean. But once again, does Professor Peppery Splash have what it takes?
Professor Peppery Splash. Let's see if he's got that right umami flavor to take down Bean if it's too much for the likes of Bean. As that's the Bean machine right there that cannot be stopped. 2P, look at this. Just utilizing the normals of Zato, not even just to get things started, and you have to do that with Zato, obviously, to get Eddie out and about, but just so confident with these buttons. However, caught in the corner, forcing out the burst is Bean. eliminates no Eddie, actually. Oppo stop that from happening. 2K or get the knockdown with the counter. Jump H again, deep dish with it, gets the overhead red RC. Alpha Blade.
You're gonna, oh my god, the way that he was stuck in the corner and then he wasn't stuck in the corner and then using the jump, he is hanging top and Gurren Lagann out here. He's the drill that pierced the heavens.
Dang, that was such a good anime. Man,
I know.
But I feel like that's the way you gotta play, you know? Like, full force, go full. That's the style of Bean too as well. Goes in again with the clone every so often. Again, the record pressure is how you start your party and approach. RC tries to get with a jump H, keeps it nice and high. 6H, has the burst. But there is the slash in. Again, the overhead situation. Bean is sitting pretty right now.
Bean is doing such a phenomenal job. And the instant BRC upon landing into the new area, he said, what's your Oki option? BRC, you're dead. Bean is on another level. Look, I've seen Bean play a lot. I've seen Bean play live. I've seen Bean play in several Series E and things like that. Bean is doing something incredible today. Like, we have seen a new evolution of Bean in this chip gameplay.
B is definitely he's on one today, but is it enough to take down Peppery Splash? Because you said this dude is studious and studied. Peppery Splash has been so great in every single matchup we've seen him. Obviously he's down in losers, but let's see if he's got something for Bean. Look at that 5P against the record. Already seen something different, and we talked about how it's hard to DP because Pepper will take the most amount of damage. That's why we see the burst here from Bean to stay solid.
Yeah, what pressure coming out from being super early, stuck in, well, I would say stuck in the corner, but it's like, are you really? Okay, that time you work out backdashing was kind of on you, sorry. But then with a 5P confirm into the dash up RC, really nice job, reverses the situation pretty much instantaneously, goes in with a low, sends in the clone, forces a burst out of Peppery Splash. The Shuriken comes out, nobody uses that.
Nobody uses that, bro. There's recovery. What do you mean? But I guess it's a way to kill Eddie, but it's not the best way to play. The leapfrog knocks him down to the ground. Don't go up there. You hold north. I'm taking you south.
I don't think I've legit seen that many shurikens in a competitive match before. That was kind of crazy. And
it sucks.
Yeah. That sucks.
It's awful. It's an awful. What's the point of it? Never mind. Let me stop. Let me stop.
Oh my god, that is so funny. Wow, the double Alpha Blade with diagonals coming out there. Peppery Splash is living on a prayer here.
Not able to even reversal or rebuttal 5K. Even though there's not much after it. Obviously, I mean, he's trying to get Eddie out. 6P, this will definitely help. Bean has been so solid with these 5K starters, but now it's caught in the corner. Pierce follow to get some of that block stun pressure at the leapfrog. 2K2D. Throw some shade at him, close slash 2S.
Ooh,
RC.
Did you see Bean try to dash up there, trying to get out of the situation, doing again his wrist gauge is cranked. Yeah, he bursts. That resets everything. But it doesn't matter. Invite Hell comes out as well. And then side, okay, we get the grabs. Now what? We've seen Bean make this comeback in this exact situation. Golly, the way he's sending out the different close PRC into the air grab. What a punish from that. Do another grab. Are we going to get a command grab soon?
Do it again. Let me see one. Let me see one.
Oh my god, counter hit PRC. Gets the burst.
Reel it in.
You're actually dead.
We thought Chip could die. But look at Zato Fly. Look at this. B on game point against Peppery Splash. Is this going to be another 3-0? Chat, I need you to hold your hands together in prayer. Because we want more action. We want more matches. But it may not be that way. Bean looking to end it right here and try to get his revenge against NBNHMR in grand finals. Pepper got to find something different. It's so hard. The 5Ps, things like that are getting caught. 2D counter, 5K from Bean to play. Now we see the slash 2, the far sword from Bean to stop some of these buttons.
Oof. Okay, there was a little bit of an overhead there from Peppery Splash. Got the burst out of Bean really early, that sandwich situation. It's such a beautiful setup from Pepper. We've seen it time and time again. Invite Hell just jumping out of there. Bean is like, corner, I hardly knew her. And then he's out of there.
Moves every year, baits of the person. That was a nasty sequence. That's your 5K. YRC, let me free. It's the bar at the bottom here for Pepper to utilize. He'll utilize it for the 2H. When you get an extension, leapfrog doesn't even need it. Had the super to seal it either way. Peppery staving off set point. But for how long?
That is a legitimate question at this point. Bean did round start, dash up, grab. That was the opening sequence of that. Got a counter hit. the overhead coming through. We did get the regular grab there. We got the, oh my god, and we get the super, we get the whole gang.
Gang out here. Gangies. And then Bean with that Oki. Deep dish jump H. And again, even without all this bar spin, we're doing wall combos. That's not even necessary. You so nasty for that. Bean now at set point. Again, that win condition was right there either way. So what could you do if your Pepper Splash will hold that pressure?
I legitimately don't know. This is insane. Bean is playing out of their ever-loving mind right now. To get another grab, go in for the low, send in the clone. Whenever they save themselves with a PRC, this is unburstable for Peppery Splash. Everything is coming up Bean.
Jump D, counter hit, that's it. Big Bean, 3-0 against Peppery Splash. I got that umami. I got that umami flavor. Big Bean, goddamn.
I don't think I've ever seen Peppery Splash go down in such a fashion.
3-0 on Peppery. Dang. Are you good, Bean? Everything all right, brother? You know, he's like so soft-spoken. He's like, you would never expect him to be a chip player. As aggressive as he plays, he is like one of the nicest people you ever meet. You would never expect it.
I have yet to meet Bean, so I need to meet them at some point because, I mean, dag. Sometimes it's like one of those Twitter things, like the player and the character, and you're like, bro? Question? But that was legitimately insane gameplay. The way that Bean was able to, he had that thing on expedited shipping that entire game. It was overnighted. That thing was crazy.
They opened my doors right there. It's like 12 a.m. I'm like, damn, you sent it now? That's crazy. But let's see if he can expedite. I don't know. There's no time. We're getting right into it. Can Bean be expeditiously on the Grizzly, or is it Neubenheimer who's going to stop him? This is grand finals. Let's get it.
Oh my god, we are already here. So, and as a reminder, Neubenheimer put Bean into losers 3-1, but Bean has been spicy. He's those spicy beans right now.
He's the beans that make you fight in the restroom. Why am I fighting for my life in here? I thought it was a restroom.
I mean, Neubenheimer's fighting for his life out here, too. We are both in here and out there.
Be careful now. This is a character that could come. We've seen this. We saw this movie. The villain, we thought the villain died, but he got up after the credit scene.
Oh no, not the after credits, anything but the after credits. Oh my goodness. Neubenheimer unfortunately gets caught. I love Neubenheimer's neutral though. I just cannot seem to talk enough about it. And I will try not to talk too much about it, but his neutral today has been clean.
Absolutely. And again, what he gets off these exchanges has been fantastic in terms of damage, how he outputs it with that button too much. If you whip, you get hit. However, the jump H comes through for Neubenheimer.
Okay, so now, oh my gosh, counter on both sides. And that was actually interesting because it put them full screen, which actually was advantageous for Neubenheimer in that situation. And then get a little bit more blood. YRC oh, babykins. You have no toes.
That clone. Clipping those toes like he's into those. A 2S coming through. Trying to DP round start, but Bean faster on the draw with the far slash.
Yeah, the clone has really been messing Bean up. That was actually how they lost the winners finals, was through that clone. There was a lot of unfortunate inputs. They were purposeful. They were the things that Bean input, but they were not the things that won those exchanges.
You ain't lying. DB flying right here from Bean for the gap. Jump H, go up in the corner, YRC. Gets the close slash. And unfortunately, you too high to fly. We talked about that. How high that pops you up. Not gonna die just yet, though.
No, not gonna die just yet. Just like you said, get a burst out. Yeah, now you're dead. Okay. What I think was really interesting on that, when Bean burst, you know, he was falling down from the sky, and he's the piece of wood, and Neubenheimer's like, I have a sword, I can cut this wood, and didn't even wait for it to complete. He was already cutting it. It was firewood. It was over. Neubenheimer up 1 in this grand final set. Bean, I mean, after that dominant 3-0 set, that incredibly dominant 3-0 set, it's like the kid who just got an A+ on a math test, and then they go to geography, and they're like, sit down.
Sit down.
You got a D.
This is not your neighborhood. Oh, the side switch burst, though, puts him up in the corner. However, Numenheimer able to fight back. 5H counter hit. Fukio's in. Another bite. That's good night. Numenheimer. Like someone says, like, it's going to be one of them sets. 2K connects round start. Oh, my God.
Are you joking? Numenheimer, I think Numenheimer came in today with something to prove. You are kidding me.
The finals changed people. They change people. They start playing different characters. They start running different. God damn. Relax, Numenheimer. He's dead. 6H. Oh!
What? Well, Rev Azu out here. Well.
Is he streaming right now? He's not even streaming. What is he doing? What's Numenheimer? Oh, yeah, he's streaming. He's streaming. After this chat, I want y'all to go in and tell him that he's a nasty, nasty person for what he's doing to Bean. He's on game tournament point.
Tournament point. It's been 45 seconds. Let's rock. Yo, 5K immediately. Are you going to lose 60% of your life? 70%? 60%? Sure. It's been 6 in-game seconds. Good luck.
His round starts have been bad. Okay, DP didn't work. Cool. 2K. Then after that, 5P. And then we see the wave check. Cool. Take off the Dewey. Show me the waves. Take off the Dewey. Black excellence.
He input that in response to the overhead.
We've guts. Still alive.
Oh my heavens. Okay, Bean not out of it. He's going in for all the grabs now. Okay, we get the wall break too. I don't think he's dead, but I'm not gonna. Yeah, no, he's not dead. It's chip damage. It's alright.
Yeah. I stay alive against this Oki. Palm off the low, bro. Of course, he gets a dash of 5K. There's a timeline where Numenheimer woke up with a 5K and stopped Bean if he was a little bit slower. However, Bean stays off set point for a little bit longer. The wreck is coming through.
The magic pixel, that was the most magic of pixels. That was a whole grim fairy tale in that whole pixel. Good lord, but the same similar round start. Overhead coming in, all of the blood. Numenheimer still doing fantastically. 2K2D backdash, forget it. Then jumps right in. Is Bean gonna burst?
Gotta hold that.
YRC.
Back throw on the FD immediately. 2D OTG keeps it nice and immediate with the clone. Gets him with another grip. 2D again. Clone situation. FD to back him up. But Bean's still in. Bean, jump H, backdash. That's it ass. Night on some dirt. Eat it up.
Yeah, Bean went in for the grab. It was the wrong timing. Numenheimer, I don't know if they were going in for the tech or what, but they got a grab afterwards, and that's what ended up winning.
Oh no, bloody spin round start. Blood bar boosts up. He has him caught up in the corner. Call a corner. This is looking like Alcatraz. You can't leave. 5H. He's got the bar at the bottom too as well. Do not leave a gap, Bean. Don't leave a single gap.
Oh my god, you have to be so careful. The PRC comes out. There was a grab and then it was countered by 5K and then you burst and you're firewood. You are dead. Numenheimer in the most dominant of fashions, a 3-0 in grand finals at Series E. Something we rarely see is going to take it. Numenheimer is this week's Series E champion.
Bro, is there something in the water? Where are all these 3-0s coming from?
I don't know.
Grand finals are. I don't know. All I know is Numenheimer, you're ridiculous with it. I think if there was a reset, we might be seeing something different, but Numenheimer stopped at something. Honestly, the tail of tapes for me, one of the most important parts was round start here from Numenheimer.
Yes.
2K, 5K, when the DPs weren't working out, because the slash would come through from Bean with the quickness, he stopped that. And the only thing Grizzly right now was Bean's help and how he got mauled up continuously. Brother, congratulations to Numenheimer for yet another Series E win. Bean will have to wait till next week to get his W. Damn.
Yeah, that.
Oh, thank you, Numenheimer.
Oh. He said you were funky.
Only because I was saying nice things about his Nago, but it's hard not to say nice things about the Nago, right?
I mean, really, though, it is so difficult. That was unbelievable gameplay. I said it earlier, really, it's a glow up from Arc Revo to today. What Numenheimer was able to take from that high level of international gameplay and apply it to what they learned and how that they could execute differently today. It was an entirely different and yet surprisingly similar Nubenheimer. And they did spectacularly, and I am so excited for them, and I look forward to their continued growth. However, I also cannot count out what Bean did today. What Bean was on something today. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was a different sort of bean. It was like a garbanzo bean or something, a jumping bean. Not sure what it was, but it was definitely a different sort of bean. And I want to see that same sort of energy from not only Bean, but all the competitors. I feel like after the ARC Tour had ended, I feel like a lot of players have been like, we have to get better. We have to represent the U.S. even better. There were no U.S. players up in the grand finals, and we have to fight back, baby, against the EU, against Japan. Everyone's talking mad mess about us, saying we're the land of the free. No longer, no more. So please keep coming out to Series E and playing at what is the best battling out every single week in the U.S. And keep training, keep playing. Appreciate everybody coming through. Of course, the Series E people, production, all of you, all the players, all the viewers watching at home. What made this super hype? Jalen, of course, you, always good. Hit the ones and twos with you.
Oh my God, it's always fantastic. I cannot hide my joy when I get the call to come in and it's like, oh, Jalen St. Cola? Yes, let's go!
Always heat.
It's always going to be fire. And again, yes, you guys today, fantastic interaction. Thank you so much, because you make our job so much easier when you're as excited about the content as we are. And I do want to do one special shout out to Esports Arena's own Alpha, who not only ran this entire thing, but did compete today, and it was a spectacular thing to watch. Oh my God, just fantastic. This was a heck of a Series E today, and that's going to do it for us here today.
All right, everybody, peace out. Lastly, with the Yeso, over to you, brother.
Thank you, Jadalyn, Cola, crushing it on the mic today, as Cole would say, on the ones and twos. And they were impeccable front to back. Such a fun bracket, such a fun cast. And Nubenheimer ends up on top. But much love to those two, as they were always a blast to listen to here. Nubenheimer hitting us with the back-to-back here. 2 weeks in a row at the top, taking Bean down once again. So Bean, a kryptonite for others, but seemingly Nubenheimer the kryptonite to just about everybody in the bracket. So hats off to him. Well done on the back-to-back here in Series E, and congratulations as always. That is going to do it for us here tonight, folks. We're so close to the end of the season. These placements are so important for these players. Being with another top showing here today. Red Ditto with one of the deepest bracket runs we've seen from them in a while here in Series E. So a very nice showing there from the Ramlethal player here from our Series E Pro. So shout out to Anytizers and their representative Red Ditto there. But Bean getting into grands once again here, continuing to represent for Aegon by AOC. We are very close to the end of the season and looking forward to the run to the finish. Do want to remind you, of course, with tonight done and dusted, we do finish off the week tomorrow with Series E Multiverses. So if you haven't quite gotten all of that esports action you need here this week, make sure you're here tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. and join me for all of that fun. I hope you will come and hang out and enjoy it here with me. But that's all. My name is Yeso. Pleasure to host for you as always, for myself, the entire live broadcast crew, and everybody here at Esports Arena. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow.